Hey guys, I'll be on the mic in just a bit. Just want to get the stream started. So I'm going to break down some of these charts, and we're going to find out potentially how low this can go just based on my charts. And right now you can see currently we held support right here on this yellow ring. We're going to break down this chart first when I get back in. But we did find support here at 46,414. At least on the 2 hour, you can see the meat of the candle is above this ring. Guys, this is the same yellow ring that we were riding up, the same fib circle. Notice when we dropped, this is the next ring below. And again, I was telling you guys, fib circles are great for finding potential targets. But anyways, we'll break down this chart and a few other charts. This is the B1 chart. These are the next support levels I see that likely if we come down to catch a bounce. This is 44,743. This is 42,981 and have targets below. So again, we'll go through each one of these charts and break them down. This is an archived chart. If you have access, this is the BitMEX chart under archived. So do check that one out. Also in this one, we're using the Bybit chart. Notice we found perfect support down here on this blue trend line. So again, guys, load up the BitMEX charts under archived, Bybit under archived. I did update the peak. Actually, this is the Bitstamp daily moving averages 300, 200, 100. And this is a peak of the bull run chart. This will have larger drop targets as well. But we'll cover this. We're pushing up right now. Our resistance here, this is a fib channel line. So let's see if we get rejected at, watch for resistance at 49,790 and potentially 49,050. That's what we're testing right now. But I'll be back and I will talk off and on, until markets open. By the way, the clock right here on the bottom left, that's when the U.S. markets open. We got an hour and 40 minutes. And right now the Dow's down 28. Keep in mind, guys, my whole premise of why I was expecting Bitcoin to start dropping is because I believe that the U.S. markets are topped out. And for at least now, they're going to continue to go kind of sideways and down. And remember, if you remember yesterday's live stream, the previous live streams, when we cross this fib channel line, I think it's very possible this will be the point when we could have a major correction. Not as bad as last time, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But at this point, early March, mid-March, I think this is the point when we could potentially test that 20-week moving average, and if it breaks it, possibly lower. All right, I'll be back in just a few, guys. But by the way, I will be covering small coins as well and some other charts. If you do want to access all of these charts that I'm referencing in this video, as well as others, if you want to have these charts to load up and watch live, during this stream or 24/7, this is the link. Again, guys, it's $39 a month. You get access to all the altcoin charts, all the Bitcoin charts, precious metal charts, Discord, and Twitter. That's the sign-up link. So as soon as you sign up, pay, you get instant access, and then all of these charts I'm showing, you can just click them, load them up, and you can kind of follow along. And when I make updates and I save the changes, you see the changes on those charts. But again, that's the link if you want to check it out. Be Your Own Bank. Actually, I raised the price to $6,000 and then dropped it back down to $39 a month. So actually, you're saving $6,000 instead of $3,000. So your savings are even more today. Guys, we just like yesterday, I'm going to load up each one of the alt charts and we're going to cover them. We're going to go through each one, but I'm going to break down Bitcoin because this is what's tough. I have a lot of charts, so I'm trying to consolidate. I loaded up the charts that look most important, and we're going to try to find the ones where it seems likely if we drop, I'm going to give you those targets to watch, and I'll show you why. I mean, you could do a fib retracement. Those sometimes are reliable. You can see we are pushing up right now, but notice we found support right on this yellow ring. Again, watch this ring for resistance. If we find support on this ring, that's bullish to push higher. The volume is kicking up a little bit, guys. Let me put some targets up, you know. Maybe we should be riding this up right here. Just for now, just watch these resistance levels. But I had this, let me put this on the 1 hour. Put my mic on, stop talking here, hold on. Again, this seems likely a point to get rejected. Notice this ribbon right here, this is on the 1 hour. If we hit it, we get rejected. We could push up a bit, but we have been respecting this yellow ring, so I'm curious to see if we get rejected. And this is 49,800-ish. And this is the chart when I zoom out, this B1 chart. This will show why, and why I think I've kind of, you'll understand why I think these are likely points to catch a bounce. But I'm rambling, I'll be back. And we will cover alts, guys. We will cover alts. Alright guys, I'm back. Y'all ready to do this? Even though I don't know what we're really going to do here. Alright, so let's take a look at this chart here. And let me show you the published version of this chart. And let me show you the... Actually, let's start out with the Wi-Fi chart. And I'm going to show you how these rings work and why they're working. Hold on. I'm using two monitors, guys. Bear with me. And we're also going to check how Ethereum fared as well. Alright. Profile. Alright, this chart is the 12/30/20. Alright, that is this chart. So this one right here. So this is the published version of this chart right here. The one I'm moving my logo or my web address. The Bitstamp USD 12/30/20. So again, let me show you how this works. So I'm going to hit play. This is published on January 6th. This is the yellow fib circle. This right here is this yellow fib circle right here. So I'm going to hit play and play and play. I think this is the right one. Then I have this on the 30-minute. Oh, this is 2 hour. Okay. I think this is the right chart. Nope. Not the right chart. Hold on. I swear I thought I had a published version of this chart. Alright, I don't have a published version of that chart. Sorry guys, I thought I did. But anyways, let me load up the actual chart itself and I'll show you how this ring's working. Alright, it is the 12/30/20. $12/30/20. Alright, so if you have access to the charts, it's the second one in the list. So I'm going to show you the zoomed out version of this chart and let's see what you guys are saying here. Alright, so look what happened here with this chart. And again, if I had the published version I could show you, you'll have to take my word for it, I guess. But notice right here, again, this is one fib circle. Let me get rid of this. So notice right here, notice when we hit this yellow ring, we started riding this. Well, actually, we broke through. It was resistance. We pushed above it. It was support, 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 support. Then we pushed up. We pushed above this channel. But notice we came down. This is the next ring down in that same fib circle. That's what I'm saying. If we push up, again, you know, rings can be resistance and support. So this ring right here was support. Notice we moved down to the next ring as support. So this would be a resistance right here. So I'm saying if we drop down lower, you know, likely point to possibly catch a bounce might be this ring right here. I'm just kind of showing you how these fib circles work. If you're respecting, again, it's weird. I don't know why, but when you set up a fib circle a certain way, see this is all the same fib circle. Notice we came down, we were respecting this ring, so it makes sense you're going to respect the next ring down. I know we did wick below it, but the meat of the candle is above it. And you can see we did kind of get rejected here. So if we're going to continue down, This is your resistance right here. We're respecting this yellow fib circle so well. 49,730 seems like a likely point to get rejected. So again, but there's also trend lines, and I do have another chart. This is the trend line that we've been respecting. So again, that's the hard part when you have all these targets. You got little points you can catch a bounce. But I'm going to show you the chart I think is likely where our drop targets are going to be. So the next ring down is 43,764, and then you've got one down here around 42,141. If we do continue down, I do have a lot of targets showing around 42,000 to 41,000. Actually, I don't need to update this chart because I got this on the screen. Alright, let me show you this B1 chart and show you why I think if we drop... Alright, this chart right here, this B1 B1 chart, this probably make a little more sense, guys. So if you'll notice, let me put this on the 2 hour. So notice in this, I have more faith in this chart than some of the other ones as far as bottom targets. So you can see how price is respecting this. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Notice, let me zoom out a bit. So notice right here, this is, and again, what I say, always look left, and you can see this is the trajectory price was following. Right here, notice that we kind of topped out right here. We had a lot of resistance. So if you pull this out, again, this is the trajectory that price is following. Notice if you come out here, this was resistance, 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 resistance. It was resistance here. Then it flipped as support. Support, we got this crazy wick all the way down to this. I think this is a 200 exponential moving average. But notice we found support. When we broke it, we came down and we found temporary support here. So I think a likely point, your first major support, you can see we did come down. We almost wicked down to this point. Let me get rid of the squiggly here. This yellow line right here. This was actually, just move that, hold on. So it looks like our next major support is this white. Well, that's actually where we bottomed right here. This white line right here. This is around 44,700, and you can see this was resistance, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. A lot of resistance. Came back up, perfect resistance right here. You see we caught a bounce at this point. So if we continue down, it seems likely that our support levels below to catch a bounce, the strongest ones I see based on this chart, would be this one right here. You can see this is respected a lot. This was support, support, resistance, a lot of support, a lot of support, a lot of support. We broke it. Support and resistance, support. So look, if we come down, a likely point to catch a bounce, and then guys, I'm just saying a bounce. There's no telling how far this can go down if it starts pushing back up. But it looks like your next, so your first strong support right now, 44,800, that has held. Your next strongest support I see is going to be around, you know, this is at an angle, what, 41,600? If we drop below that, it looks like this would be your next strong support. This one was tested the most. See how far back this goes. I do want to pull this one back and just see if it was tested further back. Hold on. This chart goes way back. So that seems like the strongest. We've been respecting this going way the hell back. All right, so yeah, we've been respecting this one trend line, this one fib channel line back since perfect support on it. This is the 12th of March 2020. So look at that. You got support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance. I mean, just keeps going. So let's follow this up. So we know that that's very strong support and resistance. So if we were to drop, I think it'd be very likely we would catch a nice bounce. We tested his resistance right here. Probably need to change the color of this. Hold on. You can see how far back this goes. Right here, this was on, we tested it again on the 27th of December 2020. Right here as support and resistance. We came down, perfect support right here. So you can see we've been testing this quite a bit right here. Support, we did come down to this point, push back up, more support, resistance, support, support. So guys, what I'm getting at is if we come down, a likely point, it looks like if we come down, the strongest support and resistance level I have on this chart is right here, 36,900. Right here is 37,000. If it's further out here, 37,500. But it seems like that would be the strongest support level if we had a major drop. If we drop below 41,600, this would be the point I would buy in to catch a nice bounce. I trust this chart. I mean, if you go back and you see how well it's been respecting this one trend line, again, I've shown you this on previous streams. If you have a certain fib channel line that's been respected, the further back it goes, the more times it was tested as support and resistance, the more likely it will hold as support. And this chart right here, this B1 chart, I went through all my previous charts where I created these fib channels, and this has proved to be the most accurate setup as far as the trajectory price is following. So guys, I am totally confident in the fact that if we come down, you will probably catch a bounce right here. I mean, I wouldn't put as much faith in this line. It has been support and resistance. You can see that here. We came up as resistance, resistance, or resistance. We haven't tested that as much. We did back here a little bit. But yeah, guys, if we come down, I would watch to catch a bounce. Potentially 44,873. If we come back down, your next is 43,212. You're going to have a lot of strong support at 41,000. But if this breaks, guys, again, I think 36,994 would be a very strong support level. And I think that coincides probably with where the 20-week moving average is. Again, my whole premise is based on, if we continue down, is the stock market. The stock market starts tanking. Yeah, guys, it's going to push up. That is what happens. Everybody is shorting this on the way down. They have to send this back up. They can't pay out on all these shorts. Price can't just keep. If price was going to tank all the way down to 36,994, it would have to do it so fast and so quick because they don't want people to have a chance to put in shorts. So they're going to sit. It's going to come down. People are going to continue to short. They're going to send the price up. They're going to liquidate those shorts. People are going to start getting bullish. They're going to start longing. And then it's going to come right back down. If it does push up, look, your next strongest resistance level on this chart, you can clearly see that right here. Resistance, 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 resistance flipped as support. So if we do get above, we're right here, like someone had pointed out. I mean, price is pushing up. This is your resistance level to watch right now on this chart. This would be a point to short from right now, 49,724. It's a chance it could go higher. But you can see how much strong support and resistance this line was right here. There's a lot of support and resistance. You can see how price respecting this perfectly and this following this trajectory. So if you wanted a chance to short, I think about right now is the perfect time to do it. If it pushes above that, your next point to put in a short would be right here at 51,754. I'm just now looking at what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Nobody knows, he doesn't know. What are you talking about? I'm just showing you what lines on this chart show the most support and resistance. if you can't understand this, or if this doesn't make sense, then I feel sorry for you. But it's right here. You can see it. You can see we're dropping from 49,700. If you push above that, your point too short is 51,754. If we drop, these are your targets to catch a bounce. These are your strongest support levels. And if we come down and we test 37,100, that's definitely where I'm buying. I'll buy at each one of these support levels to catch a bounce. And again, whether we go up or go down, I gotcha. Whether we go up or go down, guys, that all depends on the markets. I just don't see if the markets are kind of topped out and they're going to start to drop, I don't see Bitcoin going higher, putting in a new all-time high. I think ultimately we are headed down to find out where our bottom is before we push back up. Yeah, this chart name, this is the B1 chart. And I'll save this. Let me put the MACD and RSI back. Actually, I don't want to save this because I have this on the screen. But write these numbers down if you don't have access to the charts. And again, it's at an angle. It depends on you when you make contact. I'm not going to put it right above. But look, your current resistance right now, we are getting rejected. 49,682. That's very, very strong resistance. If we get above that and hold support, I would long up to 51,868. If we can't get above this point, we're coming back down to 47,373. If you break that, the next strongest support I have on this chart, which again, I do trust this chart. This chart I have 3 or 4 different charts that I was going through that were pretty accurate, and this was the most accurate so far as the trajectory price is following. So again, if we drop below 47,373-ish, 44,828 is your next strong support. You drop below that, I would pay attention to 43,190, and then you're going to have very, very strong support around 41,700, let's just say 41,800, very strong support. If that breaks, your next strongest support level, it seems likely if we hit this point, we would get one hell of a bounce, probably all the way back up to 41,000. You're saying save so I can see if I have access to it. Well, obviously you have access to it. If you have access to the charts, just load it up. I mean, all the lines are here. If I don't, when I finish the stream, I'll update it with these price labels here. But the point is you see the white lines. You know where these points are. When you hit this point, just look to the right. Price is right here. You see the price on the right side. The price labels are just for the stream, so you can say, okay, 49,773 is current resistance. You get above that, your resistance is 51,868. But my point is the strongest support below. If we drop, this goes back so far on this chart, 41,800. Right here is 41,580. Definitely pay attention to that point to catch a bounce. If that breaks, you definitely want to be buying in around 37,000. And again, this goes back the furthest of all of these trend lines. Hold and dollar cost average. So I assume Nigel, whatever your name is, I assume that you probably did not sell at the top and you hodled all the way down $10,000. This $10,000 drop you hodled down. Is that correct? That's why I only trade it. I'm only trading. I traded on the way up. I traded on the way down, but I never stay in because, again, if you're hodling down to the bottom, why would you do that? If you took your profit up here at 57,000, potentially 58,000, you're 100% in USD. If you come down and you hit 37,000 and you buy in, you just doubled your Bitcoin, almost. But again, this is the most important chart. This is what I'm talking for smaller targets on the way up and the way down. All I'm saying is if you have access to these charts, load this chart up for support and resistance. And again, I went back just to show you why these support and resistance levels I think are going to hold. As far as the larger drop targets, that's where peak of the bull run chart comes in. So again, right here are resistance on this chart. And we'll see how this plays out. This is 49,700. This is the B1 chart right here. I'll update it right here. And we will catch a bounce right here, potentially at 39,000, but I'm saying your strongest support levels, I'll make these yellow so you know they're the strongest. Actually, that doesn't work very well. Alright. Alright, so if you update this chart, I just saved it. So pay attention to the blue ones. The blue ones are going to be your strongest support levels. 41,500 and around, 36,700 something, somewhere in there, depending on when you make contact. But when you make contact with this line, this is a great point to buy in. This is a great point to buy in. Right here, you might catch a small bounce, but again, this line has not been tested as many times as this one and this one. And you can see, guys, that's what I'm saying. This line has been a lot of support and resistance, and you can clearly see we're getting rejected from this point. Like I said, that is a great point to put in a short. If you just put in a short there, you're doing pretty good. All right, so that's been updated. So let's cover a peek at the bull run chart, because that has your larger drop targets. I'm gonna load that chart up. Oh, great. They're busy updating TradingView. I can't load it. All right, hold on. I do have it up right now. All right. I guess TradingView. If you guys try to load a chart, just don't hit refresh. If you already have a chart up, leave it up. But TradingView is updating something, so if you refresh the chart, it won't load. So this is the peak of the bull run 2.0 chart. If you want larger drop targets, guys, if we start having one major drop, I mean, if it just starts coming down and just tanking, look, guys, these are your major support levels right here. Your first major support. And guys, this goes so far back. Let me zoom out and show you the bigger picture of this chart. So remember, if you want smaller targets, if we start coming down or pushing up, load up the B1 chart. That's going to give you the best support and resistance levels to catch a bounce. If we start tanking, and notice right here, 37,439. Notice that matches completely with this B1 chart right here. Look, right here. Right here would be around 36,800. This is around 37,439. This is very close to this point where I said be very strong support. And if you look at this chart, let me put this back where it was. So if you look at this chart right here, which price has been respecting this very well. Let me put this on the axis on the daily already. But let's follow this back. Let's draw a trend line. This fib channel, this green fib channel line, we're going to follow it back. Let me make this bright green so we can see it. So if we follow this back, how many times was it tested? It was tested back here on June, let's see, this is June 2019. If we come back further, it was tested again as support back in the 24th of June 2018. If we come back even further, you can see right here, it was resistance, 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 flipped as support. This was on June 5th, 2017. And let's see if it goes back even further than that. And it was tested again. Look at this, all the way back. This is back in 2013. Resistance, resistance. We just pushed through it right here. Right here it was support and resistance, resistance and resistance. So my point is, that is a very strong support and resistance level right here. So if we come down, that will be a very strong support level. Are you following along, guys, what I'm trying to show you here? Why I'm showing why that's possibly a very strong support level. This peak of the bull run chart goes back to the beginning of Bitcoin almost. So if we've been respecting that fib channel line that long, rest assured that's going to be very strong support and resistance. Yes, I have a mouse. I'm clicking. If we drop below that, your next major support level to watch is going to be this next fib channel line below. I could do the same thing and go back and show you why this has been tested. I know that if we come down this low, look, this is the 20-week moving average right here. Notice that it's angling up like this. So does it continue to do like that? That depends on how far we come down. Does it come up like this and then we just test it and then push up higher? That's a possibility. That might happen at 37,498. That's very possible. If price starts coming down, this will start leveling off like this. But I'm just showing you your support levels. But if we break the 20-week moving average, the lowest point that I think we would go based on the peak of the bull run chart. And I know some of you guys think that's insane, but guys, this is the strongest, excuse me, this is the strongest support. That's why I have it blue right here. This is the strongest support level I have right now, is this blue trend line right here. So if we had, if the market started tanking and coming down and Bitcoin just started just plummeting, this is a support level to watch. I mean, and I can go back and show you. See this blue line right here. This goes back. Look how much support this has been right here. Support back here, 2017. Support and resistance back here. I mean, it just goes all the way back. But you can see this line has been respected so well. And look at this. This is 2013, perfect support. You got support here. It did drop below it briefly, but this was support and resistance. So as I'm saying, if it was really bad and we came down, I like to have those drop targets just in case. So if we have a major crash, I want to know where there's potential points to buy in. And that is the purpose of this chart. While yes, there's some upside targets as well, I just want you to know where your downside targets are. So this chart has been updated. Again, pay attention to these fib channel lines. This green one right here, let me make this different color. So these are your major drop targets. If we come down, guys, 37, this is around 38,000, this is around 26,500, and this right here I know will hold 16,364. I'm not saying we have to come down that low, but it's nice to have those targets just in case. And I will update this chart, and I will refresh it. Actually, I'll just move it back in rotation here. All right, so that covers some major drop targets. If we have a major drop. And again, these charts have been updated, guys. All these charts are shareable, so all you have to do is click refresh, and you will see these changes. So hit refresh, guys. If you have access to the peak of the bull run 2.0 chart, hit refresh and see if that loads up. For Tesla, I guess it's possible. I'd have to look at the new Tesla chart. We can go through and look at it. But that is how you would find out if price pushes up. If you have a fib channel line, like, damn, all of these lines, there's so many lines, it's going to hit one. That is correct. But the point is finding that line. If it pushes up, is that a line that's going to stop? And if we come down, is that a line that is going to potentially catch a bounce? And that is how you figure it out. You go back and you look and you see how price interacted with those previous fib channel lines. If it goes back further and was tested the most, that tells me that is the point to buy. If you're dropping down to it, to buy and catch a nice bounce. If you're pushing up, it's going to be strong resistance to potentially short or take your profit. Again, so this is peak of the bull run chart. That has been updated. Just hit refresh. This here, guys, this is my this is my buy-in point right here, and this happens to be around 25,000. So let's match this up. So coincidentally, you know, if we came down and we tested this, where I just created this fib channel line right here, this is around 26,562. This red ring right here, I'll pull this out. We have been respecting this red ring going way back. And if we do come down, I think if you watch that most recent video by Lesio, he said that, you know, a capitulation, just because we come down, so this is the 20-week moving average right here, right? Right now it's at 25,000, let's say roughly 26,000. Again, does it start pushing up like this, and then price kind of does like this and hits it and pushes up again, or does it continue to do like this and price comes down to it? If that happens, it is very possible that we could come down and break this 20-week. That happens all the time. If that's the case, this is the point I think it will get a perfect bounce right on this red ring. And the reason for that, which I've shown you guys before, is you can see how well price has been respecting. Let me turn off these moving averages so it's not so cluttered. Look how well price has been respecting this red ring right here. This was on the 12th of May 2019. Support, 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 support. We didn't really touch it here. We did find support. It became resistance, resistance, support and resistance, support, support, support. We crashed. Notice we bottomed right on this blue ring. And then it just kept riding up this ring as resistance since this was the 7th of May 2020. Resistance, 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 resistance. We came down. Notice if I turn on the 20-week, that is where we tested the 20-week moving average right here. We actually tested it. So and I made a video about it, it seemed likely because every time we hit it, we got rejected. So it made sense when we came up and we hit it that we would get rejected and come back down and test the 20-week. That didn't happen. I had so many trolls, people giving me crap. You said we were going to be topped out and we were going to drop. Well, guys, I was just going by the chart. The red ring showed we hit it, we get rejected. It changed. When we hit it this time, it flipped as support. Perfect support. Support. And then we rode up. So I'm telling you, price is respecting this red ring so well. If we happen, you know, wherever this 20 weeks at, if it's lower, this is negated. If the 20 weeks all the way up here, that's probably not going to play out. But if the 20 week starts doing something like this, and we come down, and let's say we break this, guys, it just makes sense that we will catch a bounce here because price has been respecting this red ring going so far back. Which platform do I recommend to use? For what? For trading? For buying? And also, guys, if you paid attention, the peak of the bull run chart, that is this ring right here. This is the next ring down. And if you look at the, this is the 200, and this is going up quite a bit. But again, if this breaks, this is very bearish for Bitcoin. If we break this 20-week moving average, especially if we break this red ring, your next buy-in point is going to be right here. And this is also in the peak of the bull run chart, this orange ring right here. If that breaks, guys, your next buy-in point, at least my next buy-in point is right here. I do not see Bitcoin going lower than this point. This is a pretty low target. But again, I like to have those targets because if we have one hell of a drop, I want to know where to potentially buy in. And I would also like to point out, this is the 300 weekly moving average. Take note, guys, this is no joke. You know, this is where I was telling people, you know, this is where I was predicting that we were going to have a crash with the Dow Jones. It played out. I was also predicting, I used a different chart, but I was predicting that Bitcoin was going to crash. And this is how I was able to call the bottom. If you remember that tweet, I called the bottom. I was off by like 40 bucks. We bottomed right here on this blue ring, which happened to be right here where this 300 weekly moving average is. And if you'll notice, this 300 weekly moving average, look where it's coming up to. Right up to this orange ring. So that's why I'm saying we've never broke below this 300 weekly moving average. So if we break the 20 week, which guys, in a healthy bull run, the 20 week always holds. You know, if we hit this 20 week push up, we might never see prices lower than that again. If we break the 20 week, guys, then who knows how low this can go. But I'm just telling you, I have my targets. This is my next target if we break the 20 week. And if we come down lower, we've never broke below the 300 weekly moving average. And it just so happens is with where this orange ring is, which we've been respecting the hell out of all the way back since the 24th of June 2019. I'm just showing you the charts to load up potentially if we have major drops. So anyways, that is that chart. I just want you to know which charts to load. And there you have my targets. But again, keep in mind these are at angles. Depends on when you make contact with them. This chart here, okay, so this is the Bybit chart. Notice on this chart right here, I'd made a reference about this on Twitter. Guys, my Twitter's private. You have to follow me to get access to my Twitter. Notice right here, this was support and resistance. I don't know how far back right here. This was also resistance. So notice what happened. We came down and we found almost perfect support right here on this blue fib channel line. So that's why I say always reference different charts. Notice this fib channel line right here was respected. Let me make this red. So again, if we happen to push above, and guys, like I said, if you've been paying attention, I told you to put in a short, you know, right here at 49,698. And I said, look, we're respecting this yellow fib circle right here. Support. Support. So if we pushed up, a likely point to get rejected is right here. And you can see we are getting rejected from this point. You've got two charts. This is strong resistance. This is why I'm showing you why this B1 chart is so powerful to find your targets. This was strong support. It flipped as, look, strong support flips as strong resistance. So that's how you knew when you hit this point, you put in a short. How far does it go down? We'll see. Your next major support is 46,539. Can it be broken? Sure. If it does, your next support, 44,743, 42,998, and I damn sure am buying in at 41,500. I'll probably even buy in at 39,336. But I am not going to miss this point right here. I have a lot of charts showing this would potentially be the bottom. We could hit 41,528, get one hell of a bounce, maybe push back up to 44,000, maybe 45,000 possibly. But I think if we hit this point, this could be the bottom, a possible bottom to continue our bull run. And if things get really bad, guys, that is when you would load up. If we break below this point, 36,700, that is when you load up peak of the bull run chart, or you load up this chart right here. This is the right here, the Bitstamp daily moving averages right here. That is the chart you want to load up for larger drop targets. And notice right here, guys, I put this, again, when you create these charts, look right here. Notice we're getting perfect resistance right here. This was another chart showing, hey, this is likely a point to put in a short. When you have multiple charts that are showing, hey, this chart, this is an archive chart actually. If you want to find it, it's under archive. But notice, 49,724. This chart's completed, I charted this completely different than I charted this one. And that I charted this one, but I have three charts showing me right here. This was a very strong resistance. This chart right here, very strong resistance. Did anybody put a short right there? Just curious. And right here, guys, same thing. I said, look, if you're respecting this yellow fib circle, If you've been riding up this ring above, you find support down here. Where's your resistance? The next ring above. So I had 3 charts showing me, hey, this is where you short. This is where you take your profit. Where's my undo? So guys, who took a short at 49,816? Pierre Piccinero. Don't know how to say that. Yeah, I will load up the steak sauce chart in just a sec. I have not updated the price labels. I will do that. We'll go through each one and we'll update them. But I just want to show you the most important charts, guys. So pay attention to the this 12/30/20. I need to update the names. This is the second chart on the website, the 12/30/20. This is the B1 chart. This BitMEX chart, this is under archived. The Bybit chart is also under archived. This right here is under the Bitstamp Daily 300, 200, 100. This is under BTC related. And the peak of the bull run chart's under BTC related as well. And guys, if you want to access these charts, again, they play out live. You just click the link and they load up. If you get instant access as soon as you pay. If you have any questions, you can contact me. I answer all emails. This is a link if you want to sign up. So if we start dropping or start pumping, you have those price targets. I keep the charts updated. It does seem likely if we come down, yes, 41,000, 42,000 will be strong support. I just showed you that on this chart right here. That is what this is. This blue line right here. This is 41,587. If it takes longer, this is getting closer to 42,000. But just keep in mind, if that breaks, and I do think it's likely we'll catch a bounce. We could come down. If we drop that low, we come down, test it, probably push up, get rejected, find support. But eventually, this might come down lower. And I'm saying if it does, you do not want to miss buying in right here. And that's around 36,700, 37,000. I'm just trying to show you why I'm putting emphasis on these support levels. And why I was able to tell you this is the point to put in a short. Because strong resistance or strong support will flip as resistance. And that 3 charts showing me, hey, this is where you're short. 49,800, 49,680. Played out. It's coming down. So just like you can find these points to short, these targets down below are your points to long. Do you do live in a kitchen? So much background noise. Look, I work from home. I live at home. My girlfriend lives here as well. I'm not going to tell her to be quiet and sit on the couch and not make any noise. If it bothers you, you don't have to be here. Yeah, well, you know how it is. People have a fight and then they say they're sorry, and that's what happened. You should be happy for us. It was just a fight, got out of control, and then we made up. Yeah, I hear that. It was on Valentine's Day. That probably made it worse. It's probably my fault, though. I didn't get a present on Valentine's Day. She got me something. I was so wrapped up in Bitcoin and trying to keep you guys updated with price action. So I blame it all on you. I wouldn't have had a fight if I wasn't keeping you guys updated with Bitcoin and making live streams and videos. So it's all your fault, guys. That's why I had to go through a damn fight. It's because I love you guys. I put my relationship in jeopardy trying to help you out. So support me and sign up to my charts. No, but really, I am trying to make sure that you guys know what charts to load up for those potential drop targets. That's all I'm trying to do right now, guys. And also, it is very possible, as I'm showing you with the Dow Jones, we'll cover some altcoins in just a minute. The Dow's down 46 points. I've been telling you for the longest time, I believe that the Dow Jones is topped up. Topped out. Topped up. That is topped out, and I believe it is going to continue sideways and down. And I think the big players in Bitcoin, guys, they're the elites. They got big money, the whales. They know what the hell is going on. And I'm telling you, the last time the stock market tanked, Bitcoin tanked harder. Just to give you an idea, the Dow Jones dropped 38%, Bitcoin dropped 68%. So expect how much ever the Dow drops, Bitcoin's going to drop twice as much. If the Dow corrects 20%, Bitcoin will probably correct 40%, just to give you an idea. But I do think it's likely we're going to continue to move sideways like this. And I'm telling you, when we cross this fib channel line right here, I think that is the point. This thing is going to come down. And that is when we're possibly going to test these targets I gave you. Potentially 41,000, which we could probably test before. But that's when we're going to test these targets, guys. When we start coming down, that's when we're going to test 41,500. And if that breaks, guys, 36,700. And if it comes down lower than our previous low, guys, if this is the great reset, if this is where, if markets correct as much as they did last year in March, yeah, guys, that's when you need to load up a peak of the bull run chart for these targets around 16,000, or load up this chart for targets around, 25,000 to 19,000, or hey, guys, all the way down here to 7,723. Who knows? It's probably crazy to even imagine Bitcoin dropping that low. But best better believe I have a chart for every scenario. And my job is to try to make sure you know which chart to load. All right, Matthew, what the hell? Can you take two major resistance trend lines from 42,000, 30,000 drop, see whether this drop is looking similar to 20% drop, or whether TA indicates this? I'm sure it's different. Matthew, I don't want to do that. Look, I'm just showing you support levels to pay attention to. There's no way to know if this is going to push up or drop more. I don't know if this is going to be exactly like the last drop at 14,000 or the last drop we had in 2017. All I'm doing is giving you support and resistance levels I am confident will hold. If I told you if we pushed up, this is 2.2 short. So far, if you're in a short from this point, you're doing very well. Right here at 49,615. If we come down, these are your 0.2 chances along. Yes, they can break. The red ones can break, obviously. You can catch a bounce. I'm telling you, if we come down to 41,500, I will be buying there 100%. That is the point I'm going to catch a bounce. And if we come down to 36,714, I'm going to buy there for one hell of a bounce. If we drop lower, guys, I have your targets and other charts. Matthew's always asking me to do something. He's asking me to add a trend line or do something with this and this chart. Guys, I just want to show you the charts I have and just cover this stuff. I don't want to have to load up a chart and add stuff to it. And Matthew, no offense, eventually, maybe a little bit later. You always ask me to do stuff, man. You're throwing me off my game. The Dow's down 61 points, and we got 37 minutes and 58 seconds. And again, I can't stress this enough, guys. If the Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq start pushing back up, it is very possible Bitcoin starts pushing up as well, all right? But again, I think that we are topped out. We've been testing this orange ring for the last 10, 11 days. Well, 10 days. Today would be the 11th day, including the weekend, which markets aren't open. But I do think that we're topped out, and I think this is the point, guys, right here. I think March, coincidentally, last year was March, the same time we had a crash. I think this is the point. Markets are going to correct. You're bullish right now? All right, well, if you get above 49,816 or 49,000, let's say 49,700, I say get bullish. Until that happens, I think we have more downside. And again, we're going to cover altcoins in just a minute. If you do want to access these charts, this is the link. And listen, guys, if you do want to learn how to chart, look, this is a method of charting I came up with. That right there is the subscription options. If you want to learn, the tutorials is $149 for this stream, guys. If you're wanting to have access to the stocks, Bitcoin charts, and since tutorials is $149, if you're interested in charting, it's advantageous for you to have access to the charts. So look, guys, if you are interested in having access to everything for this stream, guys, if you send me an email through the contact page, if you're interested in accessing everything, I'll do that $2.99 lifetime. So again, just for this stream, because some people do want to watch the tutorials to learn how to chart. You know, and if they buy everything, that kind of adds up. Just giving you an option, guys. I don't know. You could invest $1,000 right now, and then it drops, 30%. Is that worth it? Maybe. I don't know. Use a stop loss. I think we could have a lot more downside. And guys, I'm trying to tell you this. It is very possible that the U.S. stock market is going to have a major correction. If that happens, Bitcoin's going to get hit harder. It did last time. I don't see why it would be any different this time. What was the correction between the Dow Jones and BTC? Sorry, I missed it. Yes, so last time the Dow Jones crashed, when we had a COVID crash last year in March, the Dow Jones dropped about 36%, 38%, something like that. Bitcoin dropped 68%. Bitcoin dropped twice as much. Bitcoin got hit harder than everything else. You'd have been better off if you were in gold, if you were in silver, if you were in the Nasdaq, the S&P, whatever. Bitcoin got hit the hardest. Bitcoin is the riskiest, most volatile asset. People trade it for that reason alone. But when things get bad and things start crashing, people jump out of the most riskier volatile assets, which would be Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin got hit the hardest. That is what I'm trying to tell you. If the markets are topped out, they come down, guys, Bitcoin is coming down much lower. Can I explain what happened to Bitcoin when the stock market tanked last time? Well, that's simple. It crashed. It crashed harder. I mean, I guess I could do a comparison and show you, but take my word for it. Bitcoin, when the Dow crashed, I didn't compare with S&P and the Nasdaq, but when the Dow crashed, Bitcoin crashed twice as much. But on the flip side, guys, if I'm wrong and we start pushing up and holding support, and the Dow pushes up and the Nasdaq pushes up, forget the fact that we got a pandemic going on. Forget the fact that we might have this debt bubble that could pop soon. Forget the fact we might have a potential real estate bubble pop. Forget the fact that the velocity of money is down to zero. Forget the fact that unemployment is sky high. Just forget all of that stuff, and let's just say that the stock market starts pushing up, and the dollar starts tanking, and there is no deflation. Then yeah, you want to be in Bitcoin because it's going to skyrocket. Yeah, what's your question, OptiArt? If the dollar pushes up, that's very bearish for Bitcoin. How's ETH looking? Yeah, I'll show you ETH when I get back. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to refresh my coffee. It's cold now. But guys, do you understand what I'm telling you? I just want to make sure you know which charts to pay attention to. And why I just said I had 3 charts showing the perfect point to short right now. What about 1400 stimulus? Guys, look, Mike, I don't know what people are going to do with their stimulus money. Maybe they might get their stimulus money and go buy stuff that they shouldn't. Who knows? Maybe they put it in Bitcoin. Maybe they put it in the stock market. I have no idea. But I would not trade based on what I think people can do with their stimulus money. I think that is silly. I just don't think that's very wise. Oh, and I forgot to mention, and forget the possible situation where Tether could be completely just shut down. No big deal. Just little things, you know. And, you know, different exchanges being shut down because they're allowing U.S. customers access via VPN, even though they're not supposed to. They just kind of turn a blind eye to it, still let it happen. Guys, there are so many things that can happen, and we have an impending possible U.S. stock market crash. Just saying, guys, be cautious. Tether won? I don't think so. I think Tether won pushing it off further. I don't think they won. Did they win? Well, this is news to me. Thank you for sharing. All right, well, that's interesting. How the hell did they get away with, they proved that they were only backed by, well, you know what? I know how they got away with it, because they probably got somebody in their pocket they're paying. But it was proved that they were only had 70 cents backing each dollar, or each tether. But you know what? I guess it liquidated so many people, and, you know, with Grayscale, they probably got all that money back. Now they can back it. Oh, they settled. Oh, obviously. Here's a couple $1 billion. All right, keep up your shenanigans. You can pay us next year. So friggin' crooked. But that's fine. That's good. You know there's backdoor deals going on. And I'm not talking the kind of backdoor stuff that Carl and Chris are doing, but you know there's some shady shit going on. Would you sell all your positions and take profit and wait to buy it back in once market is less volatile? You can make a lot of money with this volatility. If you know exactly where to buy, you can make some money. I mean, you can catch these bounces. That last crash we had down to right here to 47,000-ish. You know, if you bought that and rode it back up, guys, that was a 15% gain in what, you know, less than 10 hours. That first candle was about an hour or 2 hours. So there's a lot of money to be made if you know exactly where to buy. But yeah, when this volatility is going on, you want to be cautious because, you know, it could push up. You think, oh, this is it. The bottom's in. It's going to start going higher, and then all of a sudden it crashes back down. So that's what I'm trying to give you are those targets to pay attention to. If we drop, well, we know 44,810 has been tried and true and tested way back. We know that 43,062 is a support level that's been tested. We know for a fact 41,571 has been tested way, way back. So it will be very strong support. Yes, I will go 100% here. I'll go 100% here. But I'm not going to miss this. I'm going to set an alert on TradingView. And if we get to this point, I'll set my alert probably $2,000 above this, maybe $1,000 above this. When we even get close to this, I'm going to be right on my damn computer watching for this point to buy in. I'm not missing this. If we break that, if I'm not around, I'm okay missing this one. I'm not going to miss this one right here. I mean, whatever's going on, I'm going to be on my computer ready to hit buy when we hit this target right here. That's how much confidence I have in this chart. And earlier I gave you the bigger picture to show you why I have confidence in this chart and why I think those will be very strong support levels to catch a bounce. And I'm just, again, I'm showing you also, I'm trying to teach you how to read these charts. I'm trying to teach you why, you know, I would have confidence in shorting This chart alone probably is enough to tell me, hey, when you hit this point, this is a point you want to get out. We've already dropped a total of 1.73%. But when you have multiple charts, guys, I have a chart here. Same price target, off by maybe $100, right here. Resistance, support flips as resistance. I was explaining this yellow fib circle. If you're respecting a yellow fib circle, if you find support down here, the fib circle above is going to be a resistance. So I had 3 charts saying, hey, this is the point you short from. And it is playing out exactly. If we come down and we test this ring again, right down here at 46,296, you know, we could be forming some kind of consolidation pattern within that point. If you break it, your next support level to watch is going to be right here. You do have a fib channel line above. That's where it gets a little, you know, you're going to respect this fib channel line, but this ring below is around 43,772. You want me to show you this chart here, you mean, right here? The B1 chart where I'm saying your support levels are? No, I'm not stressing the trolls. Just trying to make sure you guys understand. I don't want you guys to miss any possible good bounces, that's all. I mean, if you're into swing trading, that is what I do. I'm swing trading. Yes, I am looking for the bottom. Nobody really knows where the bottom is. But I guarantee you when we do bottom, I will have a chart, and I think it's likely that it will be my this chart here. This Bitstamp Daily moving averages 300, 200, 100, or potentially peak of the bull run 2.0 chart that's going to nail the bottom. And keep in mind, this orange ring right here is the same orange ring right here. So again, these are the charts you want to load if we have a major crash. But just as far as targets, and yes, I'll zoom out and show the bigger picture of this, and we'll cover some altcoins as well. I am curious to see how much altcoins came down after this drop. I did have some price targets from the last live stream for Ethereum, so we'll see how that played out. But yes, I'm going to take a coffee break, guys. I'll be back in just a bit. And again, before I go, if you do want to access these charts, guys, this is the link. It's $39 a month. You get access to Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. Stocks is separate. Tutorials are separate. If you're interested in getting all of it lifetime, send me an email through the contact page on the website. And when I get back, we'll cover some altcoins and a few other charts. Guys, I'm not mad at Matthew. I like Matthew. It's just Matthew's always asking me to do stuff. He wants me to take a chart, load it up, add this to the chart. And, one day I will. I do that sometimes. But at the moment, I got a lot of things I want to cover and just not wanting to do that right now. That's all. No problem with Matthew. Alright guys, you might hear some bacon and eggs in the background in just a minute. Alright, the Dow's down 90 points, hasn't opened yet. So I'm curious guys, if you just be honest, how accurate would you say these charts are? You can start from 0% to 100%. As far as, you know, finding support and resistance to long and short from. If you do go lifetime, you do become a gold member in the Discord. So if you do subscribe to the charts, make sure. Oh shit. 1,000% wasn't an option. All right, I got a 50 and a 60. Thank you, Smelly Logs. 20%. Well, thank you guys. Yes, it does depend on the chart. That's why I'm trying to help you on Twitter to know which charts to look at. And again, I ask the community, you guys, to let me know. If you're looking at a particular chart, let me know which chart it is. I know in Discord, a lot of people look at different charts, and they'll mention, hey, this chart just hit to the tick, check out this chart. But, you know, I can only have so many charts up at one time, so that's why I need you guys to say, hey, check out this chart, we're coming up on this point, let me know, and I'll share it with the community. But hey, I'm very happy with that. I think the average would be pretty good if it wasn't for Smelly Lijos. Took me down 20%. Awesome, Kevin. There's no way it's 100%, but I do appreciate the I appreciate that. That's nice, guys. But again, it's all based off of trend lines and fib channels from the trend lines. It's a pretty simple way of charting. The hard part is to find those trend lines that price is respecting. And once you add those fib channels and you get it to match, that's how you can add smaller fib channels, and you can really get these smaller targets like this right here. You know, knowing, hey, this is where you get rejected. This is your support. Well, Ryan, if you want to take advantage of lifetime and not pay monthly and get access to everything, Discord, Twitter, tutorials to teach you my charting method. It'll help you understand how these charts are created, why they're so accurate, and if you're interested in charting yourself, you know, again, I was a beginner at trading. I had never charted before. I just started playing around with it and taught myself this method. There's 5 tutorials, but there's only 3 you need to watch. The first one's about trend lines. The second one is creating fib circles from trend lines, which is that's how I started creating fib circles, was from trend lines. And then fib channels. Can I check the A1 BTC chart? Yeah, I can do that. Let me load that chart up. And again, guys, if you do want to subscribe, if you just want to do, guys, and listen, just try it out. Try out the $39 a month. You get access to the Bitcoin, altcoins, and precious metals, Discord, and Twitter. Try that out and see if you like the charts, if they work for you. You just saw, you know, a lot of people are saying that they're pretty accurate. One guy said it was 20%. Maybe you're looking at the wrong chart. But again, try it out for a month. See if you like it. If you do, you know, then if you want to check out, you know, stocks, or, you know, maybe we'll do another lifetime later on. But, you know, I'm just giving you that option now if you want to try it. The great thing about fib circles, I mean, the trend lines, this B1 chart, the most important thing, pay attention to those targets. Those will be your support and resistance levels. The fib circles, like I said, it's just another way of finding support and resistance. Let me load up the A1 chart, and then we'll go through some of the altcoins. All right, access charts. Alright, this is the A1 chart. Now, I would admit the A1 chart, there's a lot of support levels below. We dropped quite a bit. So let's zoom out, look at the bigger picture of this chart here. Let me put in the bigger time frame so we can kind of make sense of what's going on here. And you can see, guys, when I create these charts, I mean, look at this. I get all kinds of crap from people. Your charts look like solar systems, orbital trajectories, galaxies. But guys, I put a lot of time into these charts. I put a lot of work into these charts so we can find these targets. And then again, if you watch the tutorials, you understand how I create these fib circles and why they're so accurate. And the trick is fib channels. I know it looks crazy, doesn't it? But even though it looks crazy, let me remove some stuff off of this chart here so we can kind of see what's going on. And these are meant to be zoomed in. These aren't meant to be, you know, looking at it like this, because yeah, it looks like a mess. But trust me, everything is here for a reason. Stop it, guys. Stop it. So notice right here, and again, I know there's a lot on this chart. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. Okay, so this is the A1 chart. So notice this red ring. So for now, I'm going to hide this blue ring. And we're just going to look at this red ring right now. Let me turn on these inner circles here. Hey, that's supposed to be red. Ah, it's kind of a purplish. So again, and this is what I was talking about. I made a tweet about this. So price was respecting this fib circle right here. Notice what happened. This is the same thing I was talking about with that yellow one. So look what happened. This is the same fib circle right here. Look, all of this is the same fib circle. Notice where we topped out, guys. Pay attention, all right? We topped out at this ring right here as resistance. We came down, we found support. Look where we dropped to. The next red ring found support. Where did we top out? Right here. The next ring down in the same fib circle. We came down, we found support, we pushed up, we dropped. Look where we found resistance. Right here at this red ring. We're still respecting this fib circle. And the beautiful thing about this fib circle is since we're respecting this so well, again, top, top, top. What's going to happen when price gets out here? So if price is, let's say price pushes back up, right? Let's say that price does something like this, and we come up. Where's a point to possibly get rejected? If it pushes up, right here. Come down, find support. If we come up and find support, where's your next resistance? Right here. Depending on where price is, you can have an idea where price can go. And the great thing is when you get out here, granted this is going to be out here in March. Well, actually, that's when I'm expecting the stock market to come down. But price can move down these rings. So if price starts doing some weird stuff like this, right? We start doing this. If we hit this ring from the inside, we can actually ride down this ring. I mean, all kinds of stuff can happen at the rings, but the point is, it gives you a point to pay attention to. We can ride down the ring. This happened plenty of times. As soon as you break it, you push up to the next one, find resistance, push up. You can ride it down as support. Again, all different things play out. But these would become pivot rings when you get out here. You could be at this lower point. You could hit it right here. It could be support. Then as soon as you break it, you can get a drop to the next ring, ride up it. So these become pivot rings out to the right. Yeah, the stock market. I had a blue ring I hid. Let me put that blue ring back. See how we're respecting that. But again, let me show you one more thing. So while we're respecting the fib channels are how I create the fib circles. So if the fib channels aren't accurate, the fib circles won't be either. But notice, I showed you that other chart, the trajectory price is following. This is another example that price follows different trajectories. Notice right here, this has been support since the 8th of February 2021. Look at this. Support, 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 support. We broke it, we crashed. So this is a very important trend line right here. So if we push back up, you know that when you make contact with this trend line, it's going to be strong resistance. And you can see down here, this right here, guys, is another important trend line. And look, we got rejected right there. This right here was resistance, 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 resistance and support. We came down to support, we broke it, look, it flipped as resistance. So look, that's another chart showing where we got rejected. So that is 4 charts showing that right here, 49,756 is strong resistance. So that's 4 charts that said, hey, this is the point you short from. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'll turn those inner circles on that chart. Well, actually, this is the actual chart, so I'll just go ahead and update it. I had hid, hold on. Let me adjust these, hold on. All right, so these are brighter now, so you can see them. And again, what I'm saying is, this is resistance. This is strong. This is going to be very strong resistance. Keep in mind, this is at a steep angle. Out here is 54,400. Right here is 53,400. Depends when you make contact. But you can clearly see, even though it's at an angle, you know, it's not always horizontal, guys. This is the trajectory price is following on this chart. That's what I say, always look at different charts. And when you see multiple charts that say, hey, 49,600 around that area, you have multiple charts showing this is going to flip as resistance, pay attention to that. And let's see, so your next support level, let me see here. All right, right here's another fib channel line to pay attention to. This is where we topped out back on the 8th of January 2021. It also was support temporarily. So this right here is your next support. I'm going to kind of ghost these inner rings so it's not too much. So look, right here is actually, look at that. Let me hide this. Look, that's where we found support, guys. Look at that. If you had this chart up, that is exactly where we dropped to and found support right here on this A1 chart. Look at that, perfect support. So that's what I'm saying. If you understand how to read the charts and you go back and you say, okay, well, this is a fib channel line price is respecting. How far back does this go? Probably not too far because, yeah, we pushed up way the hell up here and topped out right there. But again, since we topped out here, that is now support, guys. Look. That is where we found support. And we bounced right between these 2 fib channel lines. That's how accurate this chart is. And that was to the tick. So from this point right here was a little over almost 9.5%. And then once we hit the support level, we pushed up a total of 10.5%. So I'm just showing you how accurate these charts are. This is the A1 chart. All right, let me put that back. Again, all the charts, what I suggest doing is loading up charts that have the closest support and resistance level. Once you get above that point, if you want to find another chart that has a next resistance, load up the next chart with the resistance level above. That's what I do. All right, let me put this back here. So I've got a fib, let's see, fib circle. Actually, when's this next ring hit? Hold on. I turn off some of these fib circles so there's not too much on the chart. So our next pivot ring on this chart is going to be right here on February 26th. And this one here, let me turn on the next one. Actually, wow, look at that. So I had that ring off, but look at this fib circle right here. Notice when this, so I'm talking about pivot rings. We crossed this ring, we dropped, found support. Look what happened. We had the next ring, came down. So again, this is what I would call a pivot ring right here. This is a pivot ring. This is a pivot ring. Unfortunately, I had this one turned off. I never turned it back on. All right, where is that other fib circle? There it is. All right. So again, your strongest resistance right now, 49,652. Your current strongest support, 44,890. This is on the 2 hour. I'm going to put this back on the 1 hour. And then look, you've got a fib channel line right here. Let's see how price has been respecting that. Yep, this is going to be strong support as well, guys. Remember, you got fib channel lines in multiple directions. So if we come down lower, I think I'm missing a fib circle here. There we go. All right, and I'm going to ghost these right inside. And we'll probably be bouncing back and forth between these. Look at this right here. I mean, this is what's crazy. Look at this right here. Let me go down to the 15-minute. Let's see how we're interacting with these rings. Pushed up as resistance, came down as support. Pushed up as resistance, came down as support. I mean, if you went to the smaller time frame, you could actually play between these rings. I wouldn't do it. It's not worth it to me because you get stopped out. I lose $200 buying and selling. Come on. Can't get my mouse on the damn thing. So I'm going to turn off this ring and this ring. I'm going to leave this on the 1 hour. But again, pay attention to these right here. So this is your next support level below to watch. And each one of these rings, guys, every single one of these rings will be support. Just like you saw right here. We topped out here at this ring. We topped out here at this ring. Topped out at this ring. So when you drop, let me make this one brighter actually, because that has shown to be resistance. So that's what I'm saying. Each one of these rings has been resistance. So if rings up here are resistance, guys, if we have drops, you know, the rings will be support as well. So when you come down, if you're respecting a ring up top as resistance, you'll respect the rings below as support. So these are support levels to pay attention to, every single one of these rings. When you respect a fib circle to the left, you will respect it to the right. Don't ask me, ask Fibonacci, ask nature. I don't know why it works, but it damn sure works. All right, so this chart has been updated. I'm going to zoom in and put this somewhere where you can see the name of the chart. But this is the A1 chart, guys. And we turn the ribbon back on. Actually, the ribbon's on. We're way below that ribbon right now. And volume's on. All right, guys, the A1 chart has been updated. And markets just opened. Yeah, I'm not going to go back to that chart, but look at this. Look at the Dow Jones chart, guys. Do you want me to cover the Dow Jones? I did this yesterday. Yeah, no problem. And guys, if a chart, listen, I have a lot of charts, and I put price labels there. People like to have those there, but sometimes it covers it up. Remember, you can always right-click on a price label and hide it. A1 chart looking like A1 steak sauce. A1 sauce. Again, if a chart's been covered up by price labels, send me an email or let me know on Twitter, and I'll update that chart. All right, I can just load it up real quick, update the price labels, and everybody's happy. So let me cover the Dow Jones because this is very important. And I'm only using the Dow Jones to predict this possible drop. But again, I want you to understand why I think it's possible it can go much lower. And this chart is actually, I do have a newer version of this chart that has more fib channel lines if you want to check it out. I'll load the chart up in a minute and show you. But I want to show you again why this is important, why I think it is possible. We are topped out. And guys, if the market comes down, Bitcoin's going to come down a lot more too. But again, just like I showed you with those rings on the A1 chart, that yellow ring, I mean, that red ring and the yellow ring on the this chart here, the 12/30/20, which is the second chart on the website. But again, we're respecting this yellow fib circle, bouncing back and forth, just like that red fib circle on the other chart. Same thing with this chart, guys. Exact same thing. Put this. Well, if I put a line drawing, you won't be able to see it. But the same thing's playing out. And actually, if you pay attention, notice you got this red ring right here, you got this blue ring right here, and you got this orange ring where it topped out, right? Well, back here before our COVID crash, you got this red ring we pushed above, you got this blue ring we pushed above, and we got topped out at the orange ring, and then we had our crash. So, also take notice right here, you've got this fib channel line. This was the fib channel line we were respecting. We were bouncing on it as support. Support, support, support. We broke below it briefly, pushed back up. That's actually exactly what happened here. Look, we broke below it briefly, pushed back up, and got rejected at this orange ring. We still cannot get above this orange ring. And if you'll notice, we got topped out at the orange ring here. We got topped out here. We got topped out right here. This is the same fib circle, by the way. This orange ring right here. We got topped out here. We came down, found support here, found support here. So what I'm saying is, if every time we hit one of these orange rings, we potentially top out, we have been testing this orange ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading days. We cannot get above this orange ring. We keep trying, we get above it briefly, we come back down. So I'm saying what's going to happen is either at some point we're probably going to come down, and then when we hit this point, this is where I might actually chance actually shorting the Dow. When we cross this point, wherever we make contact, that's going to expect us to have a correction to come down. On the flip side, if we push above this orange ring and we're above this, this could actually act as support and push us up. I'm just giving you both scenarios. But if we were going to have a crash and you wanted to have the perfect time to short the Dow, it would be when we cross this fib channel line below this orange ring right here. And that's why I'm showing you why I think it's possible we're topped out, just because every time we hit an orange ring, we get rejected. You can clearly see that. And showing you these other charts, you can see why these fib circles are so accurate at finding tops and bottoms and reversal points. Yeah, again, that's why I'm not going to short that, because it just keeps hugging that ring. Right now the ring is a top. It just shows you we cannot get above this point. The point I would short is when we cross right here. When we cross this fib channel line. And again, that's what I showed you over here. Look what happened. We were topped out, you know, we pushed up, we came down, we pushed back up, we found support, but what happened when we crossed this fib channel line? Bam. If you caught that short, guys, you made a killing shorting the Dow. That's what I'm saying. When we cross that fib channel line, that is the point to potentially put in a short. You know, do one of those contracts. Let me refresh this chart. But you can see that that orange ring is still pushing us down. We cannot get above that ring. And yes, your next support to watch is around 30,891. But I have a feeling if we break this support or this fib channel line, guys, I think we're coming way down. I think, again, I made a tweet about this. I think the U.S. stock market's on life support. And this is the top. And this thing is ready to come down. The Dow Jones, mate, you're a magic. Many thanks for all your vids ignoring the idiots. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And I will try my best to ignore them, but sometimes it's difficult. Guys, if you shorted where I told you to short, you should be sitting pretty right now. I think people did really well yesterday with my Yesterday was crazy, but again, guys, if you short at this point, you're doing nice. That is the purpose of these charts, guys. I give you points to long and short from, points to buy and sell. Yeah, well, Paul, the reason I'm doing this, I'm trying to get people that want to have access to the tutorials that, some people don't have as much money as others. Occasionally I'll do this. I don't want to upset anybody. But, some people want access to the tutorials and the stocks. If occasionally I can have a special like that. There's nothing wrong with that. And you can't access lifetime anymore on the website. You could do that before. I've disabled that. So it's a per person if you contact me through the contact page. Hey Steve, do what you want. I was joking, calling you a liar in your chart. Well, if you're calling me a liar, that's kind of mean. If you're joking, then you need to make it clear that you're joking. Sometimes it's hard to pick up on that. But again, I'm just giving people a chance to get access to stuff. If you want access to charts and stocks and tutorials, you know what? Hey, I'll go ahead and we can work out some kind of lifetime option. Anyways, if you want to pay with crypto, you can contact me through the contact page as well. And guys, we're coming down. Notice that we just found support on this blue fib channel line. Guys, they're not here for declaration. So look, you could chance along here. Does it mean it's going to hold? No. But, if you wanted to chance it, I would want to zoom out and see why we stopped right here and how strong this is. The ones that are highlighted, though, are the strongest support and resistance levels. So yellow is going to be stronger. The white is the strongest. Again, I'm just telling you the B1 chart. I got to eat my breakfast, guys. We'll cover altcoins after I eat. The blue right here, the blue is your strongest support. These blue price labels are your strongest support and resistance levels. So let's see, while I'm eating, I'll update these as needed. But let's see if we push up from this point. And if we drop, let's see if we come down and we test these support levels right here. And watch the Dow, guys. If the Dow just starts plummeting, Bitcoin's going to follow suit. So again, I just showed you that other chart. 1, 2, 3, and that fourth chart showed me, hey, this is a point to short. And if you want a chance along, guys, we've got 46,321 here. We bounced off of this repeatedly. This is pretty close to this, 46,525. And we probably have to load up some other charts to look for some other targets. But guys, I'm going to eat my breakfast. I'll be back in just a bit. I'm going to kill the mic. And again, guys, if you do want to subscribe, this is the link. If you have any questions, just contact me through the contact page. Bacon and eggs. Smells delicious. I prefer maple bacon, and I like my eggs scrambled with lots of salt, lots of butter, lots of pepper. Alright guys, we're coming up on the support right here. So watch. 46,540. And watch this ring. We have been respecting this ring. So if we catch a bounce, now we have tested this quite a few times. So if we drop below 43,774, notice right here, this fib channel line, I'm telling you, this white one is strong support. If we drop to this point, that kind of matches with this fib channel line right here. But ultimately, if we do wick below it, this yellow ring would be your next support. And this has proved it. Resistance, support, so this would be your next support right below. And I don't know why I have two right there. According to my charts, the lowest Bitcoin will ever go, realistically, in the most bearish case, is around $7,800. The lowest point I think it could possibly go in, I don't know, apocalyptic scenario, 3,500. I think that's very unlikely. If things got really bad with the stock market, I don't think we'd go below 8,000. Keep in mind what I showed you earlier, that 300 weekly moving average. The 300 weekly moving average, where we bottomed at 3,900, whatever it was, that same 300 weekly moving average is right near that orange ring that's around $7,500, $7,800. That's why I'm saying if we dropped, if it got really bad, that would be the absolute lowest point we would go, because we have not broken below that 300 weekly moving average. And it's just crazy that I have a ring right there where that 300 weekly is. That is this chart right here. Right here. This is the 300 weekly moving average right here, coming right up on this point. So guys, if we had one major crash, this ring I think would be the lowest point, and that's around 7,722. Sam, are you trying to be a mean person in here? You trying to be an arsehole? Or are you talking about somebody else? That's some good bacon. Hats off to the chef. Alright guys, it's dropping. And look at that Dow Jones. Check out the Dow. The Dow is coming down. That is your clue if that just starts tanking. Oh, you are talking about me? So this guy always gives the most negative news ever, and then when it doesn't happen, he just calls them targets. Sam, bye. You're hidden from the channel. Peace. Bye, Sam Soda. Do you think the dump will continue throughout the next few days? Again, it depends on the Dow. If the Dow and the U.S. markets continue to crash, depending on how much they crash, depends on how far down I think this will go. That is the only metric. That is the only indicator I'm using to determine how far down this will go. I do have the targets. I think likely we will find support if and when we bottom. If it gets bad with the markets, look at the Dow coming down. This thing's coming down a pretty good bit. If this continues, I do have those points where I think we will bottom. Yeah, people keep buying the dips, and then it just drops lower and drops lower and drops lower. I don't know. I'm waiting to buy that the bottom dip. And again, these are just to play bounces, guys. If we hit 44,740 and push up, it's just you take your profit. I am not saying when we hit 41,500 because it's blue, it'll be strong support. I'm not saying buy here and hold. If you want to buy here and set a stop loss just in case, that might be a smart thing to do. But I would buy here, ride it up, and then take my profit. Potentially, if we get down here around 36,000, I might buy here and set my stop loss and ride this up. Maybe not take profit. 36,000 seems like very strong support. We could hit that point and never go lower than that again. We'll have to see where the 20 week is. But again, this is just for swing trading. I have other charts for larger targets. All right, guys. I'm going to water my plant, come back in, and then we'll cover some altcoins. Yeah, again, technology, I don't really care. There's 100 alts that can do the same thing the other alts can do. And the only thing that matters, buy the ones you like. I think you should buy the ones that are most popular because more than likely those would be the ones other people will buying. And hopefully you're lucky if you buy Chainlink or you buy ADA, other people buy them as well. The price goes up, you get lucky, you make some money. But as far as fundamentals and what the technology is, I don't give a crap about that. It's all speculation to me. You just want to be in the ones that are most popular. I'm going to hold ETH. I'm going to hold Link. I haven't really delved into any of the other altcoins that I might hold, but I definitely will hold those two because they're pretty popular. That's the only reason, just because they're popular. Do not give a crap about the fundamentals or the technology behind it. Sorry, I just don't. To me, it's all speculation. It's all just casinos. Hopefully you get lucky and you pick the right one. Be back in a few. We'll cover the alt. And one more thing. This is the Bybit chart that's under archive. Notice we found support, 45,254. I probably should have the A1 chart up because we did find support there. I'll load that chart up when I get back in. I'll put it back in the, hold on, I'll put it in the rotation right now. We should have that chart up. because we did bottom, guys. On this chart, we bottomed right here, almost to the tick. Alright, I'll just let these charts go. I'm going to take... We don't need peek at the bull run chart because we're not going to drop that low right now. If we do, I'll pop the chart back up. We don't need this chart because I don't see us dropping this low today. But we will have these cycle through. So I'll have these cycle. And then when I get back in, we will cover those other charts. And on the bottom, I had the DXY. Notice we found support right here. So again, dollar up, you know, that's bad for markets, bad for Bitcoin. Matthew, I agree with that completely. Okay, tell me why that's too low. Why is 10,000 too low? And look, guys, just to show you, I had a blue ring here, 46,932. This chart right here, 46,450. This yellow ring that we actually is a trend line. This was support, and this yellow ring right here was support. That's why I have an arrow here, 46,321. I'm just showing you, if you have multiple charts with support, this is where you long from. And this is your current resistance. If you get above this resistance, we go higher. But yeah, I want to know why you say 10,000 is not possible. The person that said that. Maynard. Why did you say 10,000 is not possible? Because institutional money's in and they're not going to sell? Because they want to lose money while this crashes? They'll never sell because they want Bitcoin to succeed. They're in Bitcoin because they want it to be, what, the new world currency? The slowest world currency ever. 5 transactions a second. Okay, why is 10,000 not possible? Tell me. Exactly, Cole. Exactly. People forget. They think Bitcoin is like it can't drop. It's like they forget what happened in 2013, 2017, 2019, maybe 2018, 2020. I mean, come on, guys. I don't think you guys are understanding the bigger picture here. I did make a peak of the bull run chart, and that target, if that's accurate, it could be incorrect. You know, you've got people with that curve regression band or whatever showing there's less returns. That means the highest we could go is 100,000. My chart showed 330,000 by December 2021. If the stock market continues up and goes sideways, it's very possible you hit that target. Guys, what I'm saying is if the stock market tanks, going on what happened last time, Bitcoin crashed twice as much as the Dow Jones. So if the stock market tanks, the bull run's going to be put on hold. That's all there is to it. I mean, you can go back and look at the data. It's right there. The Dow crashed 38%, Bitcoin crashed 68%. If the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the Nasdaq tank, Bitcoin's going to tank harder, period. If the stock market continues up, that's bullish for Bitcoin. But if you want to see why I think 10,000 is possible, I'll show you and then we'll cover the alts. Let me load this chart up real quick. I need to load this chart from another chart. And, you know, I haven't even showed you this chart. This is the Coinbase chart right here. This is another chart to check out, guys. Right here. Right on that ring. Look at this. This is the Coinbase weekly 1 hour. This is under archived. But look at that. Perfect support. I think this might be similar to that other chart. Because I did recreate some charts based on the most accurate fib channels. But perfect support right here. This is the Coinbase Weekly 3/21/20 1 hour. But let me load this chart up and show what I'm talking about. Maybe you think I'm crazy. I'm just going to show you why I think it's possible. Let's see. O2. I created this chart on February 11th. Let's see. All right, this is why I think it's possible that 10,000 is not impossible. Let's put it that way. Okay, this is a trend line we are respecting right here. Let me see what you guys are saying. So notice when I do this trend line here, notice right here. So notice this is pretty much the top. We got resistance right here, came down. This was our peak in, can you see that, guys? I know it's not very bright. I have it on the daily. I don't want to put it on the weekly. So right here, we pushed above this trend line. Like pushed above it, right? We came back down, found support, dropped below it as resistance, pushed back up as support, then we broke it and we came down, right? That was in 2013. This is 2017. Notice the similarity here. We pushed, this was resistance, pushed above it as support, then we had our bull run, right? We pushed all the way up, we came down, we found support. As soon as we broke this, we crashed down to 3K. We pushed up as resistance, and notice we found support right here. So this matches completely with this. Below it and support. You see that? You see how that matches right there? And then we came down, we dropped. This is where we bottomed right here when we had our COVID crash. So what I'm saying is, look, when we're above this green line, when we drop below this green trend line here, we came down a total of, let me use this here. When we dropped below this green line right here, this green trend line, we dropped a total of 73%. Over here, when we broke this green trend line, we came down a total of 49%. The next time we broke it, we came down a total of about 61%. So why is it not possible that we might be topped out here? Maybe we push higher, I don't know. But if we start coming back down and doing something like this, maybe we hold support, become below it, I don't know, push back up above it. But if we break this again, you know, wherever we make contact and we break it, if we come down another 70%, that takes us down to $8,000. We don't have to come down that much. Even if we drop, let's say that this is more steep. This is just, I mean, we don't know exactly how this will play out, but let's just say that we start coming down, we start doing something like this, right? And then we break this point. So every time we break below this green line, we drop. So let's just say we come down and we drop a total of, to bring us down to 10,000, that's a 64% drop. That's about the average. 73% drop from the 20th of July 2014, 50% drop on the 11th of November 2018, 20th of September 2019 we had a 61% drop. So why couldn't we have another drop when we drop below this point to bring us down 64%? This peak back here was the 4th of December 2013. This peak was in December 2017. This is February. I was saying that our peak of the bull run would be in December of 2021. So, but does that not kind of make sense, guys? I mean, you can see the similarities. You see right here, you have your peak. You have that part where you come back above it. You have your peak. You have your part where you come back above it. So I'm just saying it is possible this could play out. And you know what? Let me turn on the, let me add the 300 weekly here. Let me add this moving average just to show you what I'm talking about. I should have the BLX chart up because it goes back further. Let's see here, settings. This would be the 300 weekly. So this is the 300 weekly right here. Let me make it brighter. Again, if I had the BLX chart, it went back a little bit further. So this right here, let me make this bright. So look at that. If I extend this back, let me make my brush blue. So if we just push this back, let's just say that, you know, this right here would have done that, right? So we bottomed right here, we bottomed right here, we bottomed right here. So it's very possible, look, the 20-week moving average is going to continue to do this, right? Just like that. Why wouldn't it play out that way? Why is that impossible to believe? Because it's different this time? What are the chances of it happening? I don't know. I'm just showing you that if you look at it like that, every time we break that trend line, we have a drop of at least an average of 60%. If we break that trend line again, it could play out the same way. And just so happens that is right where the 300 weekly moving average might be. So who thinks that's plausible? Who thinks that's insane? I say it's plausible. And I have a target that's pretty close to that anyways. On another chart. Actually, two other charts. Insanely possible. That I agree with that completely. I'm just saying, it just screams out. I look for patterns, and that is one hell of a pattern right there. To me, that just says, hey, this is a very important trend line right here. Let me make a different color so you can see this here. Let's use white. But again, you can see we're respecting this. Support, support, come below it, support. Break it, come down, test the 300 weekly moving average. Tested it again. We come up, perfect resistance. Push above it, perfect support. We have our peak. We come back down. As soon as we break this same trend line, we drop. Don't make it to the 300 weekly moving average. Push back up as resistance. Perfect support. Perfect support. Perfect support. Break it. Come up as perfect resistance. We come down. We test it. We pushed back up. We got resistance at the same trend line. Resistance. We pushed up. We might be topped out. If we come down to test this might be support. We break it. Hey, 300 weekly moving average is right here. And that is the most simple chart ever. So that's why I'm saying, guys, anything is possible. Look at it different ways, different perspectives. To me, this says, hey, if we drop, I would pay attention to the 300 weekly moving average. But that's why I'm saying that, look, trend lines are amazing. That trend line, I mean, price has been respecting this going all the way back since the beginning. I'm saying anything is possible. These people that are saying Bitcoin can't drop to 10,000, just like I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name. I think it was Cole. Did you forget that just not long ago Bitcoin was at $3,900? Let's look and see how low it was at what point. So on 14th of March, we were at $3,832. And look, guys, we were at $20,000. We came down to $3,000. We pushed up on the 26th of June 2019. We pushed up to $13,500. We dropped all the way back down to $3,800. We pushed up to $58,000. Is it inconceivable to believe that we couldn't come down to $10,000? I'm delusional. Okay. I'm just showing you different ways to look at the charts, different perspectives. You know, institutional money buys in. Institutional money bought in back here when we were at 20,000. Institutional money was buying here when we got to 14,000. But what happened? Stock market came down. Boom. We came down to $3,900. You say it's impossible? Fine. I think it is possible. I look at all the different scenarios because I want to be prepared just in case. It's also possible we come down and we test the 20-week moving average around maybe 37,000, and then we just shoot up from there and we never go lower than that again. But if we do break that 20-week and we come down lower, I'm going to have all these charts available because I want to know where to catch that bottom. All right, so let's cover some alt charts. But anyways, I will I'll put this chart on the website. It's not on the website right now, but I will update this chart and put it up. I know. I think a lot of the people that see this and think that this is this blasphemy. You can't say Bitcoin dropped to $10,000. It's impossible. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe. But it just looks like that's a possibility. But I will put this on the chart, on the website, guys, so you can have access to it. All right, let's cover some altcoins and see what happened. Let's see how Ethereum and some other ones fared during this drop. And currently, your resistance on this chart right here, 48,675 if you want a chance to short. This chart, 49,791, we keep testing it. We're probably forming some kind of, this could be a channel right now. I don't know. We have to get in the smaller time frames. But again, guys, this is just swing trading. It's always a gamble. But I'm just telling you, pay attention to these targets on the B1 chart, because if we drop, these are likely points to catch a bounce. Remember, the blue one is where you definitely don't want to miss it, because that's where you can get one hell of a bounce. And then this might be the lowest point we ever go again. If we do go below that, that's when we start looking at those scenarios I just showed you around 10,000. All right. Yep, we'll cover some charts. Let's look at the alts to see what happened. All right. So, and again, guys, I'm going to cover the alt charts. If you do want to have access to all these charts, this is the link. It is $39 a month to get access to all the Bitcoins, all the altcoins, precious metals, Twitter, and our Discord. Remember, though, if you do sign up, you need to email me. I will send you the Discord invite link, and I will send you the or how to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is private, so you have to be subscribed to my charts to follow me on Twitter. All right, guys, altcoins. So let's just go through them. The first one in the list is Bitcoin Trash. And I covered this yesterday. I think I had price targets. Oh, I did have price targets on here. Let's see how this fared. All right, so this is Bitcoin Trash. Yes, we'll cover a link, obviously. All right, so again, and this is what I'm talking about. Let's look at this chart. Let's inspect it. Let's see why we bottomed, where we bottomed. So these are price targets I gave you. So yesterday, I was telling you this right here, this line would be your support. This actually, I don't know where price was at the time. So notice this was on the 20th of February. This was perfect support. We were expecting these fib channel lines above. We came down, we found support right here. This fib channel line I already had here. We found support. This, well, actually this wick, see this wick right here? This wick right here on Bitcoin Cash came right down to this fib channel line here. And the reason I have this, you can see, look, same thing with Bitcoin, guys. You can see that this has been a lot of support and resistance. Resistance, support and resistance, support, 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 support. We broke it. Came up, tested as a resistance and support. That is why this right here, when that wick came down, it stopped right here. We pushed back up. This ended up being resistance. We came down. We bottomed right here. Let's see why we bottomed right there. And we hit that to the tick, guys. Look. Again, this is Bitcoin Cash right here. We hit this to the friggin' dollar. So let's zoom out. Let's see why. So if we do a trend line from this point back, why did we find support there? Well, look how many lines. And guys, just like I said on the B1 chart, why I said that those two blue price labels will be the point you'll catch a bounce. This is why. Notice that we've been respecting this line going way back. All the way back since the 4th of November 2020. It has been, let me get rid of this ribbon. So look, this was support, 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 resistance, 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 more resistance, more support. Hold on. And again, you can see how we've been respecting that. And look at that. Resistance, support, 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 support. Then we pushed up. I mean, price respects these trend lines going way back. And look, right here. Came back down. It was support, resistance, support, support, support. Wow, look how far that goes. That's crazy. And look what happened. That trend line that has been support and resistance going so far back, That is why. That's how accurate these charts are, at least for the direction. That is why we bottomed right here. So that is your, so far, that's your most important support level right here. So for Bitcoin Cash, it looks like your support, if we come down, you know, that's where we bottomed, $440. Your current resistance above, if you want to long it, your resistance above is $539. Your current support is around 500. And notice we're respecting these rings as well. So your support below $478, but your strongest support is $441. This is the next fib channel line below, this yellow one. Notice how well price has been respecting this one. And we did get a touch right here on this one as well. So these are your next support levels to watch. So if we drop for Bitcoin Cash, keep in mind it's at an angle. So look, if we drop below $441, next point to catch a bounce is $416. Keep in mind, guys, multiple directions. We got a fib channel line right here. Price has been respecting. Right here. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. Perfect resistance, support, resistance. Let me get rid of this. So again, if we drop below $416, your next support is going to be right here at 405, and then you will have very strong support right here at 385. So do you see how these charts work, guys? That's how you'd be able to find this point. This is the trajectory that price is moving for Bitcoin Cash. This is the hardest thing to find out when charting. Finding the trajectory price is following. Once you find that, and then you set up the fib channels, you have a roadmap where price can go and you have your targets. So just like you were able to find this point right here, that is why I'm telling you, pay attention to that B1 chart for Bitcoin. Because if we drop, just like this $442 for Bitcoin Cash, I'm telling you, that is a very strong support and resistance level right here. 41,500, 36,726, depending on when you make contact. That is why these are so important, just like this right here was so important for Bitcoin Cash. All right, I'll go ahead and save this chart and we'll move on to Ethereum. And guys, you can access these charts 24/7. Just sign up if you want. And if price does, this is on the 2 hours, so this should be good for a while, but if price is covering these, or if the labels are covering price, just let me know and I'll update it. But this does give you points. So again, your resistance above 538, your current support is around 500. If you drop below that, 474. Very strong support, 442. You drop below that, 417. But the price labels will be on this chart. And let me turn this ribbon back on. Yeah, when I'm ready to accept chart requests, I will make a tweet and say I do this on occasions. When all the charts have been updated, I say, guys, I'm ready to create some new charts. I will make a tweet. And you guys can tell me what charts you want, and the most popular ones that people request are the first ones I chart, and then I'll just randomly go through and start charting other ones. But I'm not ready to create new charts yet, guys. I'm just covering the charts I currently have charted. Alright, Ethereum. Let's see here. I have 2 versions of Ethereum. Actually, I have like 6 Ethereum charts. I think I was covering E2, the E2 Ethereum chart last time. So let's see how this one played. Were you guys in yesterday's live stream where I was talking about Ethereum? Notice this arrow I have right here? Look at that. That crazy wick that came down. Same thing, guys. Same thing with Ethereum. All you got to do is go back and look at the fib channel lines. So I had this marked off and I had this marked off. And take note right here. Take note this fib channel line right here. When Ethereum came down, perfect support right here on this fib channel line. pushed all the way back up. Notice respecting this ring, guys. This is a white fib circle. Remember I was telling you, look, if you're respecting a fib circle, this was resistance, resistance, came down to support, resistance, resistance, support, resistance. We came down, we found support on it, we dropped all the way down. Look where we came back up as resistance, right at this white ring. So always pay attention to fib circles. But notice where I said your support was, that is now resistance. So where I said if we dropped, likely you would find support right here. Well, we did drop below it. We had a little bounce. We came down, we found support, resistance, support, topped out right here. So your current resistance is right here, your current support is right here. So I'll give you some targets. Let's see how low Ethereum can go. But currently, your resistance right now, your resistance right here to potentially short, guys. If you're looking to short Ethereum, if Bitcoin is going to continue down, it looks like Bitcoin cannot get above 49,800, 49,000, right? So if we can't get above that, let's just say 49,700, right? If Bitcoin is topped out to come down, and it just so happens Ethereum is right here close to 1,580, this is probably an ideal point to short Ethereum. And your next support level below is going to be right here at 1,484. Your next support, look at this, right to the tick. Look at that, right to the tick. So your support levels to watch are right here. But let's find the strongest support levels. So if we have a major drop, and I'll give you one more resistance above this, notice we were finding support and resistance right here. There's a lot of volatility, guys. Once the volatility settles down, then you can see how accurate these fib channel lines are. But we did find support briefly, pushed back above it. We found support and resistance. But once all the volatility subsides, you can see how accurate these are. So let's zoom out. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's find out if we have a major drop, how low can this go? Well, first of all, you can see right off the bat we're respecting this white fib circle. So a likely point to catch a bounce will be this white fib circle below, wherever we make contact. And again, it's a ring. It depends on when you make contact. That's right here is $1,200. So let me get rid of these for now. And let's do the same thing we did with the other charts. All right, so we're going to go back. Let's find out what line was tested the most. And remember, you're working, I need to add on to this chart. So this would be the point I would add on to this chart. Notice that this fib channel line right here. So this is the last fib channel line I have. If we drop past this, yes, we do have fib channel lines we're respecting like this, but I do not have any more fib channel lines we're respecting like this. So I need to add onto this chart. So this is where I'll update this chart so you can get these lines in this direction. I need to add more like this. But for now, we do have these lines in this direction. So let's see which one was tested the most and the most likely to be support. So we can see right here when price pushed up, found resistance. Actually pushed up quite a bit from this point. From here we pushed up, found resistance at this red fib channel line. We came back down, we found support. And notice we dropped back down, we found support right here. So this is a strong support level right now that we're at. We'll have to see how strong. That's currently our support right now. If we drop below that point, where's the next strongest support? Well, obviously, and coincidentally, this is right before we pushed up. So this was resistance, and this was the 25th of January 2021. Resistance, 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 flipped as support. At that point, we pushed up to this next fib channel line up here. So a likely support level, if we break 1,368, again, if we just happen to hit a trend line or a fib channel line right where this ring's at, that is a buy point for me. Right here. So it looks like $1,200 is a good buy-in point for Ethereum. If you break that, the next strongest, and again, all of these will be support and resistance. This has been tested a lot right here. This is next fib channel line. This one has been tested quite a bit. It looks like your strongest support level will probably be this one right here. The reason I say that is because you can see we topped out right here. Then we had this major drop, came back up as resistance. We pushed above it, came down as support. We had a pretty big drop, support and resistance, perfect support. So this seems like a very strong support level right here. So all of these fib channel lines right here will be strong support and resistance. So again, that's what I'm showing you. Price is respecting, or Ethereum is following this trajectory right now. And you're also following the trajectory moving up. Notice right here. Let me zoom in a bit. You're also respecting these trend lines in this direction. Look right here. You can see, look. Resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. And you got a fib channel line right here. All of these. So as I'm saying, you can clearly see we're respecting it in multiple directions. That's the thing about these charts. There's so many different directions that price is following. If I did every single possible scenario the price is following, there'd be so many lines on the chart you couldn't keep up. But look at this. Just this one channel. Support, resistance, broke above it, came back down to support, 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 broke below it, resistance, 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 came back below its resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance. So again, you got multiple fib channel lines in different directions. But I'm just showing you right now, based on this chart, these are your major support levels to watch. I would not put much faith in this one because we have only tested, we didn't even test it. We just broke right through it. So I would not put much faith in this blue one, but I would definitely pay attention. If we make contact with this white ring right at a support level, $1,200 looks like a great buy-in for Ethereum. But your next support level, 1,152. Keep in mind it's at an angle. Out here is 1,000. This is 1,150. This would be around 1,090, and then right here is close to $1,000. So that's how you do it. And then right here, you know, that was our strong support. We found a bounce right here around $1,372. Your current resistance right now. Again, I would possibly wait and see if we push up. You got double resistance. Look, just pay attention. Right here, we found support, found support, found support. We found resistance right here. Look, found resistance. So you have two lines above. You've got this line here as resistance, and you've got this fib channel line here as resistance. So you've got double resistance right here. So if price pushes up for Ethereum, this would be a great point to short, $1,578. Could it push above that? Of course. But if you wanted to look for a point, a safer gamble, I would potentially short Ethereum at $1,579 to potentially come down, if you want to target, $1,485. If we push above 1,579, your next resistance above is right here. And we know that. This is the next fib channel line above. And you can see how many times it's been tested. So this is how you read the charts, guys. So does anybody get a chance to short here? Are you guys still there? I've been talking and not looking at what you guys are saying. Getting lost in my charts. I don't even know if the stream's still running. Hope you guys are taking notes. Well, wave young music, why does that look confusing? I'm trying to show you how to read the charts. It's not confusing if you actually delve into it, and if that's too confusing, maybe you shouldn't be trading. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say that, but You know, price action is, there's a lot to it. So again, I'm just showing you, it seems likely if you wanted to short, you know, if you wanted to chance a short, you would chance it right now. This would be the point you would chance your short. You might want to wait and see if we come down a bit because we could push right above this. But if you want to chance a short right now, $1,579. If we push above that, you know, then maybe you might want to actually long up to $1,678. Well, again, and that's why I do these live streams, and that's why I keep you updated on Twitter. I'm trying to teach you how to use these charts and how to, you know, create these charts for yourself if you like. Well, you know, some people it's different. If I've been dealing with these charts a lot, so to me it's not that big of a deal. I'm used to a lot more on the chart than this. But yeah, a lot of people are just used to seeing a moving average. And, you know, just one little trend line. Oh, here you go. Here's your support. Here's your resistance. Yeah, these are complex charts. It takes a lot of work to create these charts. But if you understand them, they can be very helpful for finding points at long and short. I would love to see if we get rejected. But again, guys, use Bitcoin as a guide as well. If Bitcoin is topped out, and it seems like we cannot get above 49,700. Right now we're having a hard time getting above, keep getting rejected at 48,987. Right here, getting rejected here. If Bitcoin continues to push up, you probably would want to wait in long Ethereum. But if you start seeing Bitcoin start coming down, and we're at resistance, this is the point you would short, right here. Right at this point. And guys, I'm just saying, when you have double resistance, you have two resistance levels above. If it's just one resistance level, hey, okay, you might make it through. But when you have two, that tells me, hey, that's probably a point to short. And it looks like we're coming down from that point. Let's see what happens. And we'll cover the other charts. We'll cover Link and Wi-Fi. So let me add some more price labels here. So again, I put the price labels just for the streams, just so you have an idea. But you know, all you have to do is look right. The price is right here. You pan around, you can zoom on the, put your finger over the price or your mouse and you can zoom. You can use your mouse wheel to zoom horizontally. But the price is always on the right. Let's see if we push above this or if we get rejected. Very curious. This chart's been updated, guys. This is the E2 Ethereum chart. Yeah, I know. I enjoy doing that. Support, 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 resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay, guys, so we're pushing above it. This is on the 1 hour. Let's see what happens. And always pay attention to the MACD, guys. Look, when you see the MACD down here, we got a cross. We got the blue crossing underneath the orange, and you got this green bar right here. That is bullish. But do pay attention. If we get above 1,578, which we might just wick back below this, if we get above this, you know, potentially long this up to $1,680. But be cautious because we can wick right back down below this and then start coming back down and test the lower point. But you never know if it's going to hold. You never know if it's going to push above. These are just points to watch and potentially short and long. If you put in a short right now, that might not be working out so well. We'll have to see. But guys, that's why I have the MACD and the RSI on the chart. The MACD, guys, the MACD is pretty low. I mean, this is down here at negative 93. You just got a cross. And just an example, let's make this MACD larger. So you can see right here, let me put a vertical line here. So right here, you can see we got this red bar right here on the MACD, and the MACD was starting to angle up, right? Up into the green. This is the point we started pushing up. And then when it started angling down, right here, this was our peak right here. As soon as it started angling down into the red, you can see that's when we started coming down. So use the MACD as an indicator, you know, which direction price might go, and you can also use the RSI. The RSI on the 1 hour Looks like it's ready to start coming, possibly start pushing back down. But the MACD does look somewhat bullish. But guys, the MACD can change on a minute. How is Bitcoin and the Dow? Well, Bitcoin is at resistance. We have a hard time getting above 48,987. It is pushing up though. Your strongest resistance to watch right now. If we get above 49,700, I have, let's see, right here. I have multiple charts. Look. This is strong resistance right here. If you get above, if Bitcoin gets above 49,700-ish and holds support, guys, that is bullish to potentially go higher. If we get above this point, that's potentially bullish. If you hold support, your next resistance is 51,868 on this chart. If we cannot make it above this point, this is strong resistance. I mean, this likely will start coming back down. And again, that's what I'm saying. Be cautious. Use Bitcoin as a guide. If Bitcoin is pushing up, you probably don't want to be shorting altcoins. This is getting confusing. Hold on, guys. But the reason I'm saying you might want to possibly do a short is because if Bitcoin cannot make it above this point right here, and we get rejected and start coming down, then Ethereum's going to come down as well. But what's ideal is you happen to be at resistance at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's coming down. You happen to be at resistance for Ethereum. So it might end up being that before Bitcoin starts coming down, let's say Bitcoin just starts doing something like this. We keep getting rejected at 49,700. Ethereum starts pushing up to this point, 1,680. Then you start seeing Bitcoin start dropping. That means you probably want to short from 1,680. Does that make sense, guys? Do I look at buy? No, I don't. But I have been noticing a lot of people in Discord have been showing buy and sell orders, and that is useful. If a lot of people have buy orders at a certain point, then that's probably a point to buy in. Well, I try, guys. I try. All right, we'll check out Link and some other ones. I'm gonna save this chart so the changes are saved. But just pay attention. Your next resistance to watch for Ethereum, 1,681. Your current now it's support 1,578. Your next support 1,485. This chart has been saved. So if you update the chart, by the way, this is the E2 chart. I have an E1 and an E2 on the same date. So Ethereum is updated, guys. And I'm going to move these out just a bit. Because it might be a while before I load this chart up again. And remember, your strong support levels are down here, guys. Your strong support levels right here. I just showed you why. So if you're on a mobile phone, make sure you scroll right, and you'll see these out here. We're wicking back down. Notice this ribbon right here. Look at that, wicking back down, guys. Bitcoin comes down. You're at resistance. Probably short from that point. All right, updated. All right, you want to try a Link? All right, Cardano's next. We'll load up Cardano, ADA. See, this is what I'm talking about. When I put the price labels on the chart and I don't come back and update it, it's blocking price. So this is what you guys see when you load it up. So again, that's why I try not to keep price labels on here. But you can see how accurate this was. Again, same thing. See this yellow line right here? This is a support and resistance level we have been respecting. This is also a support resistance level we're respecting. And look at that, guys. Look at that. This was a support level I gave you on yesterday's live stream right here. Do you get 30 days when you sign up? Yeah, so if you sign up, you get charged $39, and then you'll be charged again in 30 days. At any time you want to cancel, all you have to do is log into PayPal and go into subscriptions and remove the subscription, and then that way you can still access the charts and you won't get charged next month. If you need help with that, just email me through the contact page. But yesterday I told you for ADA, I said pay attention to this trend line, because this trend line has been a lot of support and resistance going way back. I have a white line going way the hell back here. I'm assuming, yeah, look, right here. This is what I was talking about. We've been respecting this since the 20th of September 2020. Right here, it was support, resistance, 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 support, support, resistance, resistance. That's why I said if we dropped, just like I showed you with Ethereum, just like I showed you with Bitcoin. Now let me pan all the way back over here. That's why I said if we dropped, this is a likely point. And look, guys, look where we bottomed, right there. It's right in the damn chart. We hit it almost to the tick. How much were we off by? Let me zoom in on this. And my target was off by... I need to do better than that, guys. I was off by 0.21%. Guys, I'll try to do better, I promise. So again, and then you can see right here, so your current resistance for Cardano, ADA, your current resistance right now is $1, 1.007. Your current support is 0.964. Your support below that is right around 0.926. Your very strong support that's been tested almost twice, 0.818. If you get above $1, your next resistance to watch is right here, $1.08, almost $1.09, and then you will have very strong resistance here. This is where we topped out, and you have another resistance level right here, guys. So this is double resistance. So if you push up to this point, if you got up to $1.15, I would get the hell out. Yeah, but the points are not on ETH. I don't know what you mean, Ahmed. Unless you're talking to someone else. So again, I'm just trying to show you guys how to read the charts. If you have any questions, you're free to email me or make a tweet if you got any questions. But again, I don't like putting price labels on the charts, because when I do that, it covers up price. But guys, remember this: if you have the charts loaded up on your cell phone or on your computer and price labels are blocking price, just right click it, put your finger over it, you can hide it. You can actually hide it on the chart, so they're not in the way. Otherwise, shoot me an email or make a tweet and say, hey Steve, this chart, your price labels are covering up price. Get them, move them, and I'll move them. I'll update them for you. And I had marked this off down here, so and I did this yesterday. This white line right here, this has been respected quite a bit. So if we come down a very strong support level, if we break below, let's say 82 cents, your next strongest support to catch a bounce is going to be 64 cents. This is for ADA, guys. This is the ADA Binance 21121. Well, I appreciate that, Zach. Yeah, if you play it right, but again, do some paper trades. Watch, load up a chart, watch it play out, and say, okay, well, had I shorted there, what would have happened? Okay, well that would have been profitable. So if I would have longed from here, oh, it just dropped right past it. So I probably would have lost money there. Just watch them play out. I hope I'm showing you how accurate they are, but yeah, it's always a gamble. You have to remember that. It's never guaranteed that when you hit resistance it's going to hold, or that when you hit support that it's going to hold. It's just points to pay attention to. If it's a point to get rejected, just like right here, guys, if you're going to put in a short, if price is pushing up and you've been respecting this trend line right here, yeah, this is probably a point to potentially put in a short right here. It's safer than putting in a short if you're right here in limbo, in no man's land. There's no support, no resistance. But right here you have resistance. So this would be a likely point to put in a short. And you can see it's coming down from this point. Well, if it drops, where would you put in a long? Well, if you come down to 81.8 cents, you can see that we definitely tested this to the tick. So if you come down to this point, you want a chance of long, you would long from right here. And guys, again, if you want to access these charts, I need to open up another window. We got a lot of altcoin charts to cover. This is the subscribe link, guys. Awesome, Zach. And I appreciate the nice things you're saying. I'm glad you're being profitable with them. I'm trying to show other people how to use them. Yep, we're going to cover Chainlink. We're going to cover Chainlink, and then we're going to cover Wi-Fi. And guys, you saw that blue ring yesterday I was talking about. That Wi-Fi chart, that blue ring, absolutely amazing. That's awesome. That is awesome, Zach. Yeah, actually, Litecoin, I just skipped Litecoin. Yeah, we'll do Litecoin. If you can give me 3 minutes, guys, give me 4 minutes. I'll be right back. We're gonna do Litecoin, and then we'll cover. We didn't do Link yet, right? We just did Cardano. Yeah, we're gonna do Litecoin, Chainlink, and then Wi-Fi. And then if you want to cover some other ones like Dot, VeChain, Tezos, and cover those as well. But give me just 1 sec, guys, and refresh my coffee. And actually, while I'm refreshing my coffee and watering my plants, I want to put Ethereum up, see what's going on with that chart. So I'm going to have that up just so you guys can watch it and see where we find resistance at. Because we're back underneath that point. Remember I said it was double resistance right here? What do you know? We're right back below that point. Right here. Let me put the, damn, that's a big ass label. Why can't I make that smaller? Settings, oh. Alright, I'm going to leave this up. I'll leave this down here on the bottom right just so you can watch it. So look at that. We're right back below it. Let me just take this off for now. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Double resistance. Yellow one, white one. We're right back below it. So again, Bitcoin's coming down. This is an ideal point to potentially put in a short for Ethereum right here. All right, guys. I'll be right back. Yeah, I think Fallon had mentioned that the size 12 is best on cell phones, because I guess these look huge on. I don't ever look on my phone. I'm always on the computer, but I think 12. If they're too big, guys, let me know. I'll make them smaller. I make them larger when we're doing streams so you can see them. But I know these probably look huge on a cell phone or a tablet. Guys, if you could all hit the like, I notice I don't have any likes on this stream. Maybe it's not a good stream, but if you guys would all smash the like, I'll consider doing another live stream tomorrow morning. You know, it's funny you asked that. How probable is it that Bitcoin could go down to the $42,000 range? Bitcoin already dropped down to 44,800. I mean, that's not that far. Is what, $2,800 from that $4,200 price target? I think it's very possible. But again, it depends on if the stock market corrects, guys. Notice. Look, the Dow Jones was down from that ring a total of 1%. We've pushed up a total of almost 0.95%. And look, I mean, Ethereum's pushing up. We're in a consolidation point right here. Again, it depends on the U.S. markets. Bitcoin's completely tied into the U.S. markets. If the Dow Jones and the S&P and the Nasdaq starts correcting, they're going to start jumping out into the U.S. dollar. Bitcoin's a hedge against the U.S. dollar. If the dollar starts pushing up, Bitcoin's going to go down. If the markets start pushing up, the dollar's going to go down. That means Bitcoin's going to start skyrocketing. I mean, look, when the next candle opens, we got 49 minutes. This is on the 1 hour. We're above this support right now. I have not seen. I'd feel more comfortable if the next candle opens above this point. If that happens, yeah, you could chance longing up to $1,675. But I would wait, because if Bitcoin starts coming down and starts hitting some lower targets, Ethereum's going to start dropping. Right now, Ethereum's kind of in no man's land. We're just above this resistance, which could flip as support. That would be bullish to go higher. Until the next candle opens, I would not touch Ethereum right now. This could come right back down below resistance, or it could push up. Anyways, I don't buy no man's land. I wait till we come down, test support, then I buy to potentially ride up. I don't use leverage. I just buy at support, sell at resistance. Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Wi-Fi. All right. So I'm going to close this chart, guys. But again, if you have access to the charts, this is the E2 Ethereum chart. Just pay attention. Your resistance is 1,675. Looks like we're pushing back down below. Again, Bitcoin down, usually alts are down. If Bitcoin starts dropping and you're below 1,578, that'd be a great point to short. If we push above and hold support at 1,578, you probably want to long it. Again, if we get below this point, you probably want to short down to 1,485. Your choice, just showing you what's in the charts. All right, someone asked for Litecoin, so let's load up Litecoin. All right, yesterday, this is where we left off. Let's see how accurate these targets were. Looks like they're pretty damn accurate. All right, look at that. We got this wick down here. And again, guys, same thing. Same thing as all the other charts. Just follow the lines. So, again, you can see this line right here. This has been a lot of support and resistance. I'll make this white so we can distinguish from the others. So, all right, this was resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance. And if we follow it over, you can see it was resistance and support. And we actually, when we had that wick down, that is where we found support, right here. And remember, fib channels, guys, these fib channels is basically just a fib retracement at an angle. That's all it is. It's just a fib retracement at an angle. So these targets I gave you, let's see how they worked out. So we came down this when we had that major drop. I think that was during the stream. But look, we dropped below it a bit right here. Pushed back up. We did push above this point, but notice it was temporarily support. Pushed back up. We came down as support. Look, we found support down here. We pushed back up as resistance. We dropped down to, you got support levels down here. Most importantly, if I get rid of this, look where we came up, found resistance right here. Where was previously, look, this white line I was telling you was strong support and resistance. So we came down, tested it as support, tested it as support again, we broke it, we pushed back up, this flipped as resistance. So currently your resistance for Litecoin is $181. And I'm sure there's smaller targets, guys, but if I have too many targets, it's impossible to read these charts. It's just too much. So look, just larger targets. If you get above $181, your next resistance above is 192. So if we push above 181, find support right here around $181, your next resistance to watch is 192. If you push above 192, your next resistance above is going to be $204. Your current support, you can see that's holding, and this is a fib channel line right here. This fib channel line right here. This is your current support right now that we've been testing, and right here. This seems like this is a lot of support. So your current support right now is between 170 and 168. I'm just going to put it right here at 168. Resistance 181, support 168. And guys, yesterday I think I went through this and showed you your next strongest support. If Litecoin comes down and breaks 168, you do have support right here. I don't know how strong that'll be, around 165. But if we get below this point, your next strong support is $150. Nice even number too. And that is because this line has been tested going way back. And actually, you do have a stronger support level right here. This is going to be strong support and resistance as well. Let me pull both of these out. These are going to be very strong support and resistance. I think this is your strongest support. Notice how many times we tested this line right here. So again, that's what I'm saying. Your next strong support, if we come down, is going to be $150. Your next strong support is going to be $140, and then your next support below will be $130. And we have tested that. That is this line right here. Notice we came down. Perfect support, push back up. Not perfect, but close. With resistance, support, push back up. And we did test it back here as well, support and resistance. So that is your next point below. And actually, I can extend this out and give you some smaller targets. Sometimes I do this. When I take chart requests, I might make some smaller, for the smaller time frame. If you guys get crazy with swing trading smaller targets, I can extend this to the right. This gives you smaller targets, but for right now, I'm going to leave those off because these are your major support and resistance levels. These are just smaller targets you can play. But I would watch. If we continue down, these are your major support levels to watch. So again, going to recap. Current resistance for Litecoin, $181. Resistance above, 192. Resistance above that, 204. If you break below 165, look to catch a bounce at 150. Below that, 139. Let's just say 140. Below that, around $130. Looks like it's $10 increments with these fib channel lines. So that is Litecoin. It has been updated. And again, you can see this was our top right here. So if we pushed up, I would get the hell out. If we happen to get one hell of a pump, I would get out $248. And we're also respecting this fib channel line right here, which is right at 222. And let me turn this ribbons on. All right, so that's been updated. And guys, always pay attention to the MACD and the RSI. It's probably a good idea to go back and look how price. Look at where this MACD is pretty low. So if we start getting a pump with Bitcoin, it looks like this thing's ready to start pushing up. I don't know. As long as Bitcoin is dropping, I would be very cautious playing the alts, at least if you're planning on longing. Longing from support, sure. Shorting from resistance, sure. But expecting it to push higher while Bitcoin's dropping, probably not going to happen. All right, Litecoin is updated. You got your price targets. All right, let's check out. Let me check out Wi-Fi, and then we'll do Link. I want to see how this ring's playing out. Wow. I remember I told you, I said don't even worry about the fib channel lines. Watch the fips this ring. We're gonna do Link right after this one, guys. so look how this worked out. I think we'd already dropped. So notice we found perfect support on this ring right here. Perfect resistance right here. Look at this. When we came down, look where we found support. Totally respecting this blue fib circle. We hit this, we dropped below it one time right here, and then hit it to the tick a second time. So all you had to do, you buy at this blue ring, bam, buy at the blue ring, pushed up, buy at the blue ring, and then we pushed up. We did get topped out at this blue ring, came back down. We're finding support on it now. So that could be bullish to come up, potentially test. Your next ring above is right here at 40,659. But again, while we're also respecting the ring, so that's what I'm saying. If we come down, you can see we tested this 1, 2, 3 times. So your support for Wi-Fi, 28,853. The next blue ring below is around 24,800. But notice we're respecting the fib channel lines also. So right here is your resistance. Notice we hit this and got rejected. Back here it was, you see it was support, 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 resistance, and support. And that flipped as resistance right here. Now it's resistance and we're coming down. So you probably want to be in a short at this point. But we are above this blue ring, so if we stay above this blue ring, it can push back up. But right now, this is very strong support that now is flipped as resistance. So it looks like probably want to be shorting Wi-Fi right now. And again, another fib channel line just to show you right here. We topped out. This was resistance. We pushed above it, got a pump. So this is also going to be strong supports. Let me see if I can find a point. So if we dropped quite a bit, where's a likely point to the strongest support level I see? These are pretty steep, guys. I mean, we tested this briefly as support and resistance. This we tested the most, but this is way the hell down here. I mean, that's a hell of a drop, down to 14,000. Again, if you're playing Wi-Fi, guys, I would be playing these blue rings because they have been dead on accurate. And it does look like a solar system. A solar system that can make you some money if you play it right. But again, you can see, guys, we've been bouncing just to show you how accurate the solar system is. Let me go to the 3 hour. Let me turn off this ribbon. Look how accurate this has been. Rejected at the blue ring, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, rejected perfectly at the blue ring, came down to support, almost hit it, support, perfect resistance, came down to support, hit the blue ring perfectly, pushed back up, support, resistance, hit this blue ring, resistance, support, resistance, perfect support, perfect support, perfect resistance, pushed back up, found support. Where do we top out? Blue ring. Where do we find support? Right on this blue ring. Broke it, came down. Where do we find support? Right on this blue ring. Where's our current resistance? Well, maybe this blue ring right here. So just showing you this blue fib circle is a moneymaker for Wi-Fi if you're longing and shorting. So just showing you how accurate fib circles are when you set them up correctly. But currently, it looks like this is support. So guys, look, if we do break above, your current resistance right now is 34,657. Your current support is this blue ring. And typically what happens is you go from ring to ring. So we topped out at this blue ring. We came all the way down. We found support, dropped down. We hit this blue ring as support. And we pushed up to this blue ring. We got above it. So now this blue ring is support. So if we push up, your next target is right here at 40,659. You will respect the fib channel lines, but I'm just saying we typically go from ring to ring. You can clearly see that. I mean, look at this. It's amazing. Yeah, and again, I'm going to try and go through these other charts and add fib circles like this so you can have, I need to find fib circles like this on other charts as well. This is probably one of the most accurate fib circles for an altcoin chart I found yet. It's on this Wi-Fi chart. It's pretty cool. But again, 40,659. Let's see here. Hold on. If you push up and look at that. That is amazing. Look at that, right to it. So if you pushed up, likely point to get rejected. If we had one hell of a pump, 52,000. That's right at 52,000 right here. Next resistance, 40,659. And again, if we get below this blue ring, right now we're testing it, 33,435. If we get below that, likely we're coming down to 28,853. And then again, 24,773 is the next ring below. So those are your current targets for a Wi-Fi. And I have this saved on the 2 hour. Alright, let's load up link. And I have my price targets from yesterday. Let's see how accurate that was. Alright. Chain link. Alright. So yesterday's live stream, when we left off, you can see where I put my price targets. Let's see how accurate this was. Look at that. Alright, so this was a pivot ring. Remember I was telling you pay attention to this white ring right here? Guys, this is what I was talking about. All those fib circles that I've been showing you that have been perfect support and resistance. Eventually, like that blue ring I was just showing you in the Wi-Fi chart, eventually when you get out to the right of it, it's going to be this ring right here. It's going to be a pivot ring. So notice what happened. As we approach this ring, notice we pushed up. As soon as we crossed the ring, we had a drop. So I'm saying when you're respecting a ring as support or respecting a ring as resistance, when you cross the ring, you can get a pivot. And that is an exact pivot right there. So the price targets I gave you, let's see how accurate they were. These are upside targets. I don't know if we're going to go this high for a while. I'm going to get rid of these for now. So, let's see. This is on the 2 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. So we did find support. So we came down. We were just kind of coming down a pretty good bit. But notice right here. So this is a ring, guys. This is a yellow ring. This is what I was talking about before. I make this brighter. A ring is what found our resistance, and a ring found our support. I'm going to show you both these fib circles. Let me make this brighter so you can see it. Fib circles can help you find targets that normally you cannot find. So notice this yellow fib circle right here. You can see price has been respecting this yellow fib circle going way back. Actually, way back here. Look at this. This is all the same fib circle. So notice right here, it was resistance, 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 flipped as support. It was perfect support right here. Then we pushed up to the next ring. And guys, just pay attention. I'm showing you how you can read these charts. This was support and resistance, support and resistance. This is the next ring up. This is what I'm saying. I create a fib circle when price is respecting it to the left, it's going to respect the fib circle to the right and all of the rings. So notice we pushed up, we found support, pushed up to the next ring, got perfect rejection here, found support, came all the way down, respecting this fib channel line here, this fib channel line here, pushed back up, support, broke below it is resistance, pushed up to this next ring, yeah, support, pushed up, and look where we topped out at. Topped out at this ring, topped out at it, we came down, respecting this fib channel line, came down, support on the ring, support on this ring, look at this, perfect resistance at this ring right here. And look where we found resistance, right here at this ring. 27,000, I wish. $27.24 is your current resistance right now, and you're respecting this blue fib circle as well. Notice we found perfect support right here. You're respecting this fib channel line as well. But you can see our current support right now is $25.67. Your current resistance is the yellow ring, $27.25. Your next resistance above is $28.87. You have resistance at $31.18. And this wasn't really tested, but right here around $30.14. So if we come down, a likely support level is going to be right here. You got double support. We're respecting the yellow ring and the blue ring. So that means if we come down, you've got double support here. And check that out. Look where this wick came down perfectly, right to the tick right here. Let's find out why that was such a strong support level. Alright, so we tested this, and again, showing you how to read the charts, guys. And there's a lot of volatility with Chainlink, but you can see this was resistance, support, resistance, a lot of support, guys. Kept hitting it, bouncing, resistance, more support, more support. So we've been respecting that fib channel line, so if you follow it out, that is where we bottomed perfectly. We found perfect support right here. So that is the very important support level. So I'll pull this out. So if we get a major drop for Link, your next support level to watch is going to be right down here at around $19.87, depending when you make contact. And then remember, guys, if you're respecting a yellow fib circle or the blue fib circle above, you're going to respect it below. So next likely support, again, rings are usually reversal points. If you come down, $17.96. So these are some larger targets for Chainlink. Yeah, if the dollar's going up, guys, that is bearish for the markets and bearish for Bitcoin. But do pay attention to this point. This would be a good buy-in point. If you caught this, damn, how much was that when it pushed up from this point? 34.5%. Damn, that is a hell of a pump on Link. And you see this MACD got these two. It looks like it's ready to start coming down, guys. Notice we had these 3 bars on the MACD. I mean, might push up a little bit more, but it looks like the RSI is ready to start coming down. Notice the RSI right here is topped out, coming down. We've already got these 2 bars right here with a hell of a pump. So this could start coming down. Hold on. Yeah, it could push up, guys. I don't know. I would watch. If Bitcoin starts pushing up, you know, you might want to start longing your alts if you're at support. But your current support is $25.62. But again, this could just curl and come right back down. And the RSI looks like it's about ready to start coming down too. So use the MACD and the RSI as an indicator. If you're at resistance and the RSI is topped out and the MACD is starting to angle down, yeah, probably a good point to short. If you're at support and it looks like the MACD is about ready to start pushing up and the RSI is about ready to go up, that's probably a good point to long from. Yeah, exactly. Who knows? But hey, at least you have your support and resistance levels to pay attention to. All right. So this is saved. Where's my label? All right. This is the label for the chart. And if you just want to see the bigger picture, guys, look how much went into making this chart. You want to see another solar system. Look at that. It's a lot on this chart, guys. I think he pulled his something. Poodle. I appreciate it. But yeah, again, I put a lot of work in these charts, guys. I know when you're zoomed out, it looks like a complete mess. But I create this big mess so when you zoom in, you have these accurate targets. Yeah, I can spend 3-4 hours on one chart. I think I probably did spend that much time on this chart because I trade Chainlink. I trade Chainlink and I trade Bitcoin. So I put extra love into this chart. Wi-Fi, I think I just got lucky. I just found the perfect fib channel placement, which allowed me to find those fib circles. And guys, I'll show you something really cool. Just you guys that happen to be in the stream right now, I'm going to show you something that I would only show in my tutorials. Let me see if I can find the good one. These circles are pretty accurate. In my tutorials, I teach you how to create these charts, how to create fib channels to create these charts, and then how to create fib circles from the fib channels. But the really cool thing is you can create fib circles from fib circles. I'm just trying to see if this is the best chart to do that. So for instance, let's see here. So we are respecting, I need intersecting points. We're respecting the yellow ring and the blue ring. How well are we respecting this white fib circle? Pretty well. You see how we're respecting this white ring right here? Notice we're just riding right up it. It became a pivot. See right there, we wrote down to support, wrote it down to support, resistance, resistance, support, support, bouncing back and forth between these rings. So if this is a good chart, let's see. So let's just for fun, we're gonna go from, I gotta find out what's a ring here. I got a lot on this chart. So I'm gonna go, I think this is the same fib circle. All right, that's all one fib circle. So I'm going to create a fib circle, and I'm going to start from right here to right here. Actually, let's go down to the next one. So this is a way you can create fib circles. So I'm going to zoom in. Let's see how well price is respecting this. Probably the Wi-Fi chart would be better to do this. But notice my, and again, I teach this in my tutorials. But notice, so my, I'm going from this point here. I'm going from this point right here, this intersecting point where this ring intersects this blue fib circle, and where this same white ring intersects the next two rings down. And let's make this a different color. Let's make this orange so we can know which one this is. And let's turn on the other rings. And let's see how accurate this is. We'll go to the smaller time frame. Just want to show you this is a way you can create fib circles from fib circles. I just stumbled across this one day just playing around, and I was just blown away how accurate it is. So once you have the actual fib channel chart set up, you get the fib circles correct, you can come up with all kinds of stuff. So let's go down to the 15-minute. And you can see the price is already respecting this orange fib circle we just created. I mean, again, this is where it takes a lot of time to go in and try to find it. But notice right here, we just created this fib circle. Support came up as resistance. Support, probably not the best example, but just showing you this is one way to create fib circles. Found support, drop down to this point, found support, support, right down this ring, And look at this ring right here. Look how we just rode right down this ring as support. Resistance, support, support, resistance, support. And let's look at this ring out here. So this would be a pivot ring right here. When we cross this ring right here, this is a point where you could potentially come down, find support right up it, or potentially come up, find resistance, and then when you cross it, you could get a pivot. You could cross this point and get a drop. But anyways, guys, just showing you that this is kind of a trial and error thing, but if you keep at it, you'll find a flip circle that matches perfectly. And when you do, that's how I found that Wi-Fi. That's how I found these flip circles here and the one on the Wi-Fi chart. Actually, I'm going to leave this, and I'm just going to leave this one ring so we can see how it plays out. So I just found you guys a pivot ring on Link. So pay attention to this ring, and guys, we will cross this ring in 2 hours. So make sure you pay attention in 2 hours what happens on Link, because we may get a pump or a dump, or find support and ride up it. And they put this back on the 1 hour. Alright guys, so that pretty much covers the most important altcoins. I do have other altcoins if you want to check them out, guys. Again, if you want to sign up, I have Bitcoin Cash. I have like 8 charts for Ethereum, Litecoin. I have XRP, Stellar, Neo, Cardano, Chainlink, Tezos, BSV, Comp, VeChain, EOS, Polkadot, OMG, Wi-Fi, DeFi, Libra, and Binance Coin. I have a bunch of Bitcoin charts, and then I have stocks as well. And if you check out the tutorials, I teach you how to create these charts from scratch. There's 3 main videos. They're about an hour long each, so if you want to learn how to chart, I teach you how to create these charts from scratch. It's a method I came up with. I don't think anybody else uses this method of charting. But I do have 3 1-hour-long tutorials each that teach you. I mean, I narrate the whole thing, telling you why I do this, how I set this up. At the very least, if you don't want to chart for yourself, it'll help you understand how these charts work. I don't have Atom charted, Ahmed, so I will, at some point I will create a chart I'll make some new charts. I suggest if you're following me on Twitter, when I make that tweet, make sure you're quick to make a post. But I'm not going to give TA on a chart I don't have created. I'm sure you can understand that. But guys, do pay attention to Chainlink. In the 2 hours, we will cross this new ring I just added. We will make contact in 2 hours. And yes, pay attention to the Dow Jones, guys. Pay attention to the Dow Jones, the S&P, Nasdaq, because if I'm correct and we stay below this ring, or just follow it down, as soon as we cross this point, I think this is the point that the markets could potentially correct. This is what happened last year, same month. We had a major correction, and every time we've come up and tested one of these orange rings in the same flip circle on the Dow Jones, we get a major correction. We've been testing it for like 10 days now, so I think we are due for a correction. And remember, guys, the last time, people keep saying, have we bottomed? Are we in a bull run? If we have a major correction with the stock market, Bitcoin is going to drop. I already covered ADA. I don't think I have DGB. What's going on, Neil? But yeah, guys, I've been streaming for a while. I need to take a break. I got things to do. I will keep you guys updated on Twitter. Remember, guys, if you do sign up, I will check emails in a bit. I have a few things I need to knock out. If you have signed up, you will have instant access to the website. If you want to pay with crypto, or you want to get lifetime to access everything, contact me through the contact page of the website. But make sure you email me if you have signed up, so I can send you the Discord invite link, and so you can follow me on Twitter. This is if you want to sign up directly. If you want to contact me, This is the contact form. Actually, it's just my email address. But you can reach me here if you have any questions. I answer all emails. I will answer all these emails in a little bit. I gotta go to the store in a bit, so when I get back, I'll answer all emails. And I will send you the Discord invite link, and you can follow me on Twitter. Yeah, guys, thanks for being here, and we'll see what happens with the markets, and probably have one in the morning as well. All right, guys, I'm out. Trade safe, trade smart. Peace.